Here we go.
MC Tune, drop that beat.
Alright. Let it flow. Let yourself go. So I know that is the tempo.
So, yeah, let's do this song.
Let's do this. Yo, it's MC Toon, the debunking tycoon. I shatter flat earthers, make them face the moon. Your attempts are decent, but they'll swoon in the face of my logic like a deflated balloon.
Oh, MC Tune, the one soon cartoons. On your real say, sending Flerfs to their dues. Your theories are like old brews, sweeping ignorance or just spreading the views.
FTFE stands for fumbling the facts, evidently. I drop truth bombs so splendidly. Your approach is soft, mine's unrelenting. I bring the science while you're just venting.
MC Tune, the buffoon with silver spoons. I tackle pseudoscience, make them change their tune. You're the sidekick, I'm the rude. When it comes to debunking, I'm the rude.
In the rizzle dizzle. But hey, FTFE, we share the creed to educate and debunk, plant the seed. Though in this rap, it's clear indeed I've got the upper hand, then word indeed. Alright, hold on a second. The Zoom call died. Everything died!
We're living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Hey, I'm FTFE and welcome back to the channel that does the stupidity what the Klingons did to their own gods because they were just a bit too much hassle to deal with. Yes, I hope you enjoyed that song at the beginning. Thank you very much to Ion in the Discord for making that remix of mine and Toon's attempt to rap battle live. During the rap battle, it was so bad that the gods decided to turn off the power in my house, which was why it died at the end. But yeah, awesome remix. If you want to join the Discord server, then would one of my mods please be kind enough to pump that link in the chat and join in the fun. There's meme rooms there. There's all sorts of funky stuff going on in that Discord. So today we're going to continue the stream that Sleeping Warrior and Flatzoid did together discussing gravity. Toon says he's got home, he's just got dinner, so he'll try to join soon. Yeah, so Sleeping Warrior and Flatzoid were discussing gravity. And they were discussing gravity like, you know, Sleeping Warrior was an expert giving a lecture, which is fucking hilarious because Sleeping Warrior is the guy that thought there was, you know, an eclipse every month. It was just over at sea, so you couldn't see it. Genius. Also didn't know the angles of a triangle with sides 1, 1, and 1. Dog, what are you doing? You see this puppy just walking around? Riker, go to bed. Riker, bed. Go on. Riker, go to bed. That's not your bed. Okay, you can just lie. Oh, right. Instead of bed, he's just gonna lie there. Good dog. Yeah. So it's been hilarious. And if you've missed the first two parts, so far basically, Sleeping Warrior has tried to say that gravity is just a bit of refraction in it, which is absolutely hilarious. And the reason he says that gravity is refraction is because, you know, light moves with refraction and gravity can also move light. And there couldn't possibly be two different things that can accomplish the same outcome. No, God forbid that to be the case. There can only be one thing that does a thing. So if the light is moving and that's what refraction does, then gravity is just refraction. And it's now asking stupid questions like how many newtons does it take to accelerate the horizon in the Skunk Bay time-lapse video. Which is so much stupid that my brain wants to cry. Oh, goodness me. So, anyway, we're going to get on with that, and Toon will try to join at some point. Hopefully you will. If not, we'll do it without Toon. But we got to hear him rap battle at the beginning. Jiffy Jiffwell for $2 says, hello, notices your earth bulge. Ooh, what's this? Now, Jiffy, I like you, bud, but Uwu talks band, right? It's a Rubik's became a new member. I'm sure they've just re-upped. Thank you very much. And Jiffy Jiffled says that I am an adult because I said I needed an adult with the inappropriate comment. And then Jiffy gets me 5 memberships. Thank you, Jiffy. You know I love you, really. Hello, everyone in the chat. Hello, Brenda. Hello, Copper and Quarter. Hello, Astros Electronics Labs. Hello, Flatzoid's Flerfs, the undumb cousin of Flatzoid. Randomly Epic for $5 says, how many newtons does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? I'm sure you could actually do the maths for that. Anyway, let's get on with it, because it's endless fun. I mean, even Flatzoid's t-shirt makes me laugh. Do Fearless. I mean, that's almost a sentence, I guess, you know? It's like when you go to one of those knockoff markets and they're selling like the cheap t-shirts, and it's like Nike's just done it or something. Oh. Yeah, so part 1 and part 2 were done recently, and then I got a bit ill, which I'll talk about later. But let's get on with the stupid.
Per television. But you and I both know that like everything that television tells you is you take it with a pinch of salt. Yeah. Because they're not telling you the truth. Whether you agree or disagree with like the Israel-Palestine arguments and fighting that's going on right now, whatever side you take with that, whatever.
Flanker says debate Riley again. I would, but he runs, well, wobbles away from me as fast as he can.
You see on the news, it's usually propaganda to make you think a particular way, depending on what your state, your country that you're in, what their political opinions are, what their religious opinions are, whether they're pro this side or pro that side, and they'll feed you the bullshit that they want you to believe that is true, regardless of how true it actually is. They might show you the 1% that supports their narrative and ignore the 99% that don't. And if you only see that 1%, you don't know the 99% exists.
Right, now, give Riley, for what it's worth, a wee bit of props here, right? Just a wee bit of props, because what he's saying right now is not the most stupid thing in the world. Don't believe everything the TV tells you. Don't just believe the news. Don't just believe the propaganda. You know, who knows who's telling the truth about what's going on in the world, right? But that doesn't equate to gravity's fake in any way. Because gravity is a fundamental part of our lives in so many ways. So, yeah, he's right. Don't just believe what the TV tells you, what the local news station says, what the newspaper says. But, you know, also, don't be a fucking moron, because the earth ain't flat and gravity's real.
What are you going to think? You're going to think the 1% argument's true because you saw it on Sky News. Mm-hmm. Well, that's the same problem that Bob's got. Everybody thought, or everybody sees Bob as a particular way, and they're not going to present the actual correction that Bob made. And Bob's correction shouldn't really be presented because it makes it worse for him. But if they'd have said, Bob did later change his position, and he said this instead, and this was the reason why it was getting speedings or whatever.
I mean, Bob said a lot of things, right, to try and cover his tracks. But let's not forget what Bob actually said.
If the Earth is spinning at one rotation every 24 hours, that means that every hour it has to turn 15 degrees. And if the gyroscope is mounted anywhere on Earth, it's going to drift. In today's 21st century navigation systems, they're using what's called a ring laser gyroscope. It is extremely precise. If we could simply get one of these ring laser gyroscopes, we would be able to prove once and for all that there is no rotation to the Earth. One of the people in the community actually purchased one for $20,000. But what we found is when we turned on that gyroscope, we found that we were picking up a drift.
What kind of drift, Bob?
A 15-degree-per-hour drift.
Interesting.
If the Earth is...
Yeah, you don't need to repeat it, thanks. Yeah, that's what Bob said. Those were Bob's words. What else was Bob's words? the other Bob's words were, oh, if we released what we have right now on Earth's rotation, we'd be finished. Without realizing he was still mic'd up quite easily. So whether Bob reversed his position on what he picked up is irrelevant. The important thing is what he picked up. And that is a 15 degree per hour drift. Thanks, Bob. I've got a lot of members, thanks to people like Jiffy Jiffweld. So if you're a member, spam that thanks Bob emoji. Don't spang it, because that's not a word.
At least that would be honest. But it makes it worse for Bob, because he didn't know what he was measuring. The claim is that the interferometers...
Riley, the word's measuring, not measuring. Okay? Just like you don't say sandwich, okay? Dude, you said you were a lawyer.
Bob used a ring laser, a fiber optic gyro, which measures the diffraction of light.
But you know what was funny?
What did he just... It measures the diffraction of light. No. A fiber optic gyro measures the time light takes to travel from a point. He just says things. Like, just random words fall out of his mouth. Right? Just changing what an interferometer does. What a ring laser gyroscope or a fiber optic gyroscope does. Just changing it. Oh, it just measures the diffraction of light. No. It measures the change in time that light takes to travel a path due to the movement of the entire apparatus. It's why planes have 3 of them for your pitch and roll, to know where they are in 3D space relative to the surface of the planet. Just words fall out of that dumb mouth of yours, Riley. And you don't know what any of them mean. And that's mainly because, well, I mean, you said it best yourself, if I'm honest.
I'm a dumb flat earther, and I don't understand science.
But you know what's funny with that fog, though? If you saw when he was like showing it to Nathan Thompson, it wasn't even bolted down, and the fog needs to be bolted down so it can keep both the references equal. And he was moving it freely in all the directions.
He's saying that a fiber optic gyroscope isn't working unless it's bolted down. If it's just sitting there on your desk, it's not working unless there's bolts in it, apparently, guys. Yeah, if you pick it up and start moving it around, it's going to show different things. And Bob did that to display to Nathan... Excuse me, sorry. Bob moved the gyroscope to display to Nathan the fact that it picked up movements in real time, then put it back down and showed that it was still registering a 15 degree per hour drift. Thanks, Bob.
Bolted down. How do you know how accurate the thing is? I mean, you need to calibrate it.
How accurate do we know a fiber optic gyroscope is? Well, you know, ask the aviation industry that relies on them. Pretty fucking accurate, dude.
The problem is, if you're in the same room as one of those things, you're creating heat, and the heat is moving the air around the room.
Exactly.
And the air causes refraction, because if you've got more dense air passing over the lighting setup that's inside that fog, if you've got more dense and less dense air moving around, you're going to get accelerations.
Okay. You guys heard that, right? So... a fiber optic gyroscope, which is, you know, a self-contained unit, usually, you know, in a vacuum, or if it's, fiber optic is glass tubes with light going through them, you know, so apparently that's going to be affected by refraction of light in the room that the apparatus is in. You heard that, right? So... if you're in a room that the gyroscope is in and you're breathing, you're heating up the air, which is causing refraction of the air, which is affecting the enclosed environment of the fiber optic gyroscope that is in that room. This is why I love Riley. Like, unironically, I fucking love the guy, because The stupid that comes out of his mouth is monumental. He is the only one that comes up with new dumb stuff. Gravity is refraction. Refraction in a room affects a fiber optic gyroscope that is in that room. Oh my god. Yeah, Piecewise, you're right. He's not even wrong. That's just like... Oh, so fiber optic gyroscopes just measure the diffraction of light, but can be affected by refraction of light, even though they're enclosed in a vacuum. Good fucking job, Riley, you numpty.
I'm a dumb flat earther, and I don't
The legend
understand
in the chat,
science.
Simon Dan. Everyone say hi, Simon Dan. Simon Dan was the original model, obviously. We were created in the same clone chambers in Southmead Hospital, just a couple of weeks apart. Lord of Loomis Pooh says this is an egg, and he isn't wrong. Dan, if you've, like, I think we need to catch Dan up because he may not have seen. Riley's returned, Dan, and his new claims are gravity is just refraction because, you know, it makes light move and so can gravity, therefore they're the same thing, apparently. What was it? Fiber optic gyroscopes just measure the diffraction of light, but they're also affected by refraction of air in the room that they're in. I'm sure there's other dumb things that he said during it, but it's incredible. It's, I mean, mind-blowing stupid. I love it. I just love it. And by the way, that's us up to 1,057 members, guys. 1,057. You're awesome. I love you all, not you, Gary.
You're not supposed to be in the room. It really should be done in a vacuum, as some people would argue, because then you're removing one of the major variables, which is the same variable that they had in the Cavendish nonsense, which we won't...
Oh, that's right, Nick. That's right, Nick. Oh, yeah, Dan, he also said that arc seconds are a measurement of time. That's not... Yeah, brilliant. Well done.
Go into, but the point is, Einstein made predictions of light, of gravitational waves. They started building LIGO. They spent billions on it, literally billions of taxpayers' money, like... I'll round it up to 3. It may be more, I don't know exactly, but you can research it yourself. $3 billion US. That is a huge amount of money. For what? What are they trying to achieve? Well, they've proved that gravitational lenses and gravitational waves apply, Riley. All right, well, what's a gravitational wave? It's ripples in the medium of space-time. That's what it is. Well, we can see that there's ripples in something that we're looking at because things are moving when they're not actually moving. It's almost as if gravity's creating a force.
Did you hear the words he just said? It's almost as if gravity's creating a force. Well done. But, excuse me, sorry. Right, so, right now, what he's doing is he's saying that light, stars changing their apparent position, like when they're close to a star, due to the warping of space-time, which is gravity affecting the path of light, is the same thing as LIGO picking up gravitational waves. I mean, not really. Gravitational waves are extremely strong disturbances in the fabric of space-time. What he's doing is being Dunning-Kruger. He is showing that he knows nothing about anything that he is saying. The stupidity and the arrogance with which he says the things is astonishing. Let's just listen to it. I can't stop.
But we know it's not creating a force. It's the medium doing whatever's doing. Now, it's the medium it's measuring, but they call it space-time. But in real terms, it's actually the medium that we're in that they're measuring. The air that we're in. It's measuring some ripples in that medium. Because even though it's a vacuum, it's still subject to pressure and temperature changes. It's still...
So... guys, now, right, vacuums are subject to pressure changes. So you create a vacuum, which is somewhat with no pressure, and is subject to pressure changes. It's brilliant. I mean, Riley, you are pure genius, mate. I can't even debunk it. I mean, I don't need to.
Subject to microscopic amounts of movement.
Yeah.
Who knows what they're measuring?
Exactly.
But they insist it's gravitation. And this is all basically to push Einstein. Because if gravitational waves do exist, Einstein was correct. Quantum mechanics is wrong. So it's...
I mean, no, quantum mechanics isn't wrong. Nothing about quantum mechanics precludes the possibility of ripples in the fabric of space-time. But more importantly, this isn't just to prop up Einstein. LIGO is an experiment created because we made a prediction based on a hypothesis formed because of an observation. You know, kind of like almost as if there was a method followed. A very scientific method that was followed. And led to an experiment that we then got results on that we analysed and found that those results matched the predictions, failing to disprove what Einstein said would happen with gravitational disturbances of a massive magnitude. It's almost, guys, almost like science was done, right? I mean, Riley wouldn't get it because...
I'm a dumb flat earther and I don't understand science.
Push Einstein, but if you give quantum mechanics all the funding that Einstein had, quantum mechanics would be much more interesting. But it's quite dry because it's very simplistic. It's simplistic in the sense that it doesn't need a lot of money going into it. But there's no panache to that. There's no glitter and ball to that. It's just unattractive.
Yeah.
But space time.
They didn't give quantum mechanics enough money to make it attractive, guys. They didn't give it all the sparkliness that they gave to Einstein's theories. I mean... Oh my goodness, my brain is sad that I'm making it listen to this.
That sounds attractive. Let's give them all the money they want. It'll push...
Yeah, so $10 from PhD Tony. Thank you very much, Tony, the only real man in the room. Says it very succinctly, says, if you have a theory that predicts a phenomenon, testing whether that phenomenon can be observed and whether or not its characteristics are predicted is fundamental to the scientific method. Yeah, absolutely right. It's kind of the point, guys, you know? My dog's passed out. Look at him. Riker! Nah, he's out cold. Yeah, it's fundamental to the scientific method. You know, testing your predictions. And if you don't do that, you're not really doing science. So, I don't know why Riley's complaining about, you know, LIGO doing the thing that it was built to do to test a prediction. And, you know, I reckon there's a lot of money spent on quantum mechanics. Wasn't there a, you know, super collider built to test a lot of the predictions of quantum mechanics? I mean, just, you know, who knows?
Some nonsense,
And
right?
that's the
And
problem.
it's-
Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, and I mean, you can't... How can I put it? Space and time are just man-made concepts. This is the same thing I was talking with that other guy last time that came on my channel, the Grayson guy, where I was trying to explain...
And PhD Tony again backing up my point, $5 Australian. For Riley's benefit, the Large Hadron Collider costs $4.75 billion. If only quantum mechanics got funding, right?
to him, touch time for me, touch space. You can't. Space is just availability of something. Time is just a man-made reference so we can have a reference for order in everything. That's all. It's both man-made. There's no...
Yeah.
There's no...
So time's just man-made, guys. Time doesn't pass unless we're here, apparently. So, and the problem is that they aren't talking about space-time. They're talking about space and time. They're different things. Space-time is a different thing to space and time. And you know, time is a physical thing. Time passes. There is something we can measure. There's a physical way to count to measure how far, what the passage of time is, we can see how many vibrations in an atom happen over a certain period, and we can measure what time is. And space is just everything. It's it's the 3 dimensions of up, down, and in. They exist. We didn't make them up. They're just there. Time, we didn't make up. It's just something that passes. Thank you to entropy. Entropy is the arrow of time. Everything goes from order to disorder. That means that time is passing. They're not man-made. The measurements of them are man-made. But the things themselves aren't. Just misunderstanding basic concepts makes you look dumb. Well, no. Every time you talk, you look fucking dumb.
Physicality towards it. You can't physically manipulate the reference of time. You can't physically manipulate space. The only thing you can do is...
Incorrect. You can physically manipulate how fast time goes by changing your speed or the mass you're next to. This is tested scientifically. These are things that are done. Not saying it's easy to do, but it's something that can be done. We know for a fact the faster you go, the slower time goes for you. That is physically manipulating the passage of time.
Full availability. That's it.
Time is a human man-made construct, isn't it?
Exactly.
We create time. We use it like the rising of the sun and the
Howsoy in the chat, long time no see, hello. Howsoy says that if time doesn't exist, how come watching this feels like forever? I totally get it, Howsoy. Listening to Flerfs makes time slow down, which is why I tend to do it for you. I actually think that if I was told that I have 1 minute left to live, I would go and watch a Nathan Oakley stream because it would make that minute feel like it lasted forever. Nice to see you, Howsoy.
setting of the sun to give us our parameters for what we call day and night. We have a calendar. I don't know how they worked out the calendars, but it's a repetition of a cycle. Bottom line is
a cycle, like, you know, the passage of time. Ooh.
We created the convention that we use called time, in the same way that we created the convention that we call up and down, left and right. They're directions that are relative to humans, but only to humans. Fish don't know what up and down is. Fish know what temperature up and down is. They know what pressure up and down is, but they don't know what up and down is on.
Well, plants know what up and down is, Riley, because plants will grow up. The seeds will grow up. Seeds are the direction which seeds root is dictated by gravity, right? When a seed is put in the soil, no matter the water content of the soil, the way that gravity is pulling down is where the roots will go. Because of gravity. Once they find a water source, then they follow that. But they make go down by gravity, and the sprout goes up because it's the opposite way to gravity. Seeds know what up and down is. Fish in their own way definitely know what up and down is. Birds know what up and down is. They might not have a language description for them, but in their own way of visualizing whatever they're doing, they understand what an up and down is for them. Just because fish and birds are slightly more intelligent than you doesn't mean that they can't do the things that you also can. It's not my fault you don't understand up and down. But fish and birds and seeds do, and I guess that makes them all more intelligent than you.
Their own, because they have no idea of the concept of up and down. They just know that their environment involves pressure variations, temperature variations, oxygenation of the water levels varying, all them kind of things. But if you told a fish to swim down to the bottom, he wouldn't know what the hell you're talking about, because up and down are not phrases that fishes use. Well, we have a convention called time. Dude,
what's the plural of fish?
We have a convention called direction, and ultimately the man-made constructs.
Exactly.
I've got a construct. I've got a man-made construct behind my wardrobe called Narnia, and if you open that wardrobe at 9 o'clock every night, you can go into it. And in that,
I mean, Flerf delusions. What can I say? Also, Narnia wasn't technically a man-made construct. It was created by the magic of the Snow Witch. So you know, I don't know what you're talking about.
Construct. You can do anything you want. You can float. You can drop. You can be anything you want to
Yeah.
be. You can be Sean Hawkins in Narnia if you want
Yeah,
to be.
but you see, space-time, Sean Hawkins thinks it's space-time is not space and time. Yes, space-time is space and time on an X and Y graph. That's what space and time is. It's literally just the bending of the two, how can I put it?
Axis.
Coordinates. Yeah, the coordinates. It's the bending of coordinates.
It's the bending of the X and the bending of the Y coordinates.
Yeah, that's it.
That's why these idiot ball earthers will argue that the surface of a sphere is a two-dimensional object, because that's only true if you curve the X-axis and you curve the Y-axis, then it's true. But axes are not like show me anybody that's ever used a graph with like bending axes on them. There is no such thing. All you're doing is perverting Euclidean geometry to suit your delusion.
Why would we be using Euclidean geometry when talking about the surface of a sphere, Riley? I don't understand that. Seems to me like we would use, I don't know, spherical geometry.
If you maintain Euclidean geometry, which is the real geometry,
and yes, Baba Ali, I will accept that correction. Narnia was created by Aslan. It was the magic of the Snow Witch that put it under control of the winter. You're right. I apologise. I will get my, Witch in the Wardrobe canon correct for you next time.
Only geometry that actually works in any part of life. Then you cannot get to any part of the surface of a sphere using two axes. You need three.
That's why
X, Y, and Z.
And that's why they move over to the metric tensors with general relativity, because they need as much axis as possible to warp the fabric of space and time. You could say.
Right, those words that Flatzoid just said, he had no idea what any of them meant. He just put some words in a random order and let them fall out of his face. We don't need the metric tensors of Einstein to warp space and time. That's just a way to mathematically explain what gravity is doing. And again, you can use Einstein's tensor equations and mathematically break them down in non-relativistic situations to Newton's law of universal gravitational attraction. But again, all of that's over your head because you're a flat earther, and flat earthers are fucking idiots.
That's why at the end of the day, even according to Einstein, space-time is a flat piece of fabric.
Yeah. Now,
don't get a grip of your emotions. You've got to start crying soon, mate.
So we've just been through the Wikipedia chronology of it, right? I want to go to the other one that I brought up earlier on, which is this one. This is the one that's aimed at kids. This is the one that will resonate with most adults because it's...
And Tony points out, which is not something I would have known, that, of course, the metric tensor, which Flatzoid is talking about, doesn't have a bunch more axes because it still only has 4 dimensions. So, yeah, Dunning-Kruger for the win, Flatzoid. Good boy.
So simple. But when you realise what's written in here, it totally devastates the arguments that like Newtonian gravitation is a force. It destroys the nonsense that Craig Fight the Flat Earth argues that gravity creates a force. It doesn't. It destroys...
Yeah, it absolutely does. We can measure that force.
Destroys the nonsense about submarines using gravimeters or whatever nonsense that they don't.
But they do. Billions and billions of pounds of research have gone into that method of navigation that submarines use.
Literally, this destroys everything, but instead of it being text heavy like it was on Wikipedia with the hard raw data, this is like pictorial, so it's aimed at like Sean. This is for you, Sean. So pretty pictures, straightforward, but it makes the exact same point. And basically what we can see here is we can see Newtonian gravitation produces his Principia, whatever, given a comprehensive account of gravity, toolbox, blah, blah, blah. And then it's all like, there's a nice pretty picture for you. So that, and we know that that's basically been superseded by Einstein because we've just been through it.
Again, and this is something I need to point out because some people don't really know how to respond to this argument. Yeah, you know what? We agree on the fact that Einstein superseded Newton in the discussion of gravity. Absolutely. That happened, right? See that black box up there? That's called an Xbox Series X, right? That superseded the Xbox One. This, right? So this is the Xbox One, the Xbox One X, right? This was superseded by that, okay? This still works. My wife uses it to play Minecraft and Overwatch and other games. That's why it sits down here, so my wife can use these screens to play the Xbox. It still works. It still does what it was designed to do. It didn't stop becoming an Xbox that connects to Xbox Live and allows you to play the games that were designed for the Xbox One. Yes, that is better. It plays more powerful games. It has better graphics. It's got faster connections. It loads faster. But just because that exists does not stop this being a thing. That superseded this. This still exists and this still works. I don't know how much more simple I can make it. Superseding does not mean that the thing stopped working. Well, it's not that old. It's an Xbox One X. It was the newest version of the Xbox One.
And what do you know? Next article here, we've got... so it talks about the orbits of the precession of Mercury and stuff, but... prediction of planet Vulcan, nice to know, but it's not relevant in the topics for us. But then it jumps straight to Einstein, which is what we've just done. Einstein's special relativity, and then you get to general relativity in 1915. We've just spoke about this now, but again, pretty pictures. General theory of relativity. The first great success was an accurate prediction of Mercury's orbit. Woohoo! The theory also predicts the existence of black holes and gravitational waves, which we've just spoke about.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely predicts gravitational waves. LIGO was set up to test that prediction. Found out it was right. Predicted black holes, didn't he, Einstein? Guess what we imaged a couple of years ago? A bloody black hole, mate!
Although Einstein himself often struggled to understand them. Now, I don't know where the citation for that is, but if Einstein doesn't understand it, you can bet your bottom dollar that nobody else in physics understands it either. If Einstein didn't understand it to the best part, all sorts of nonsense can then spew from that, which is basically what's happening. Just 1 second, just gotta let these dogs out. 1 second.
No stress, man. Yes, Sean, it is definitely a space and time. It's a fourth dimensional construct. That's why they got the metric tensor, so it can bend the space in time. That's why it's called space and time.
I've heard loads of these so-called space experts, space and time. So you're wrong there, Sean, mate. You dummy.
Exactly. They always talk about space time.
The metric tensor is based on space and time warping in different dimensions. That's why it's in a fourth dimensional mathematical construct, Sean. Remember, Sean's the same guy that doesn't understand when he says, why doesn't propane stay in a bucket, trying to tell me gravity's supposed to hold it down. So he's got nothing to talk about when it comes to gravity at all.
Sean, I'm going to say this to you once, and from now on, Sean, there is no other topic that ever needs to come back your way other than this one issue. If you can ever come back with a gas law that supports the directionality of gas, then maybe you can qualify back into this conversation. But unless you...
A gas law that qualifies the directionality of gas? No gas law does that. Gas, like all matter, Riley, like all matter, just reacts to forces acting upon it. That's what decides the direction of gas. Energy can have an initial response, but once energy is expended, other forces that are acting on it will overtake, like gravity. So I don't know what you're talking about, and the smugness of Flatzoid's vase there. Ooh.
You can find me a gas law that gives directionality to gas and contradicts the current gas law, which states that there's a free expansion of gas in all directions without any bias whatsoever. Then there is no way back into this topic for you, Sean. You are too stupid. We have something called the free expansion of gas law. It is a non-directionality to gas. You guys insist that the atmosphere has got weight, which means that if you're stood there, you've got more molecules hitting you on the top of your head because there's a downward directionality of atmosphere pressing on you.
Absolutely.
Then you have on the underside of your arms or the underside of your legs, your groin area. But the reality is the pressure is the same all the way around. But if there's a downward directionality...
Have you got any proof for that? Because we have proven that there is a gradient of pressure. Well, in fact, we don't need to even prove that. You just, go up a mountain and you find that there's a fucking gradient of pressure, which means there's more pressure pushing down on things than pushing up in general. unless we're starting to go into buoyancy stuff, but you're never going to understand anything, are you, Riley?
It has to be more pressure on the top because that's the weight of the atmosphere pushing down on you.
Yeah, Borg Emporium, I know that Riley said that gases don't have atoms, but then, you know, Riley is a flat earther, and
I'm a dumb flat earther, and I don't understand science.
But in real terms, because we live in a gradient, and we both agree that we live in a gradient, don't we? We definitely live in a gradient.
Yeah.
There should be a slight change in pressure as you gain in elevation. So, as per your own model, the gradient's existence means that the higher you go, your head, the less pressure there is there. But in your model, you say that the atmosphere's got weight. So that means it's pressing down on you, which means that you should have more pressure pressing on your head because the atmosphere is pushing down on you. But in real world, because we live in a gradient, we know that that's not actually true. If you put your arm out and you have an open palm and you have your palms, doesn't matter whether you put your palm down or your palm up. If you put your palm facing down so that the back of your hand is pointing up, on your model, because you say that the atmosphere has got weight to it, you should have more pressure pressing on the back of your hand. But also, in total contradiction, you say that the pressure gets less as you gain in elevation.
The gas pushes, like, the pressure pushes down, right, because of gravity. I mean, I don't know how complicated this is for you, Riley. Like, I don't know what you're talking about, why our model says what you think it says, but, you know, air does have weight. That's why a tank of air weighs more than an empty tank. I really don't know where you're going with this.
Well, the bottom side of your...
There's a fire in the house!
Gravity, you fucking retard! Gravity! Have you ever heard of fucking gravity? Gravity! Gravity! Gravity, you
Wrong button.
And that's pointing the ground is at it's less elevation than the top of your hand. Therefore, it has more pressure on it because it's it's deeper in the density gradient, the pressure gradient. So it's the total opposite of what your atmospheric pressure pressing down on your argument is, because your atmosphere is supposed to put more pressure on the top, but in real world it's obviously less, isn't it? So unless you can get round that, with Sean, with a supporting gas law and a supporting experiment that demonstrates that it's the opposite way round to atmospheric pressure, which presses from the top down, you're going to have to accept that you don't know what you're talking about.
Physics. I just got to.
This is insane that they're just spouting nonsense and acting like they're the authority. It's Dunning-Kruger, like, personified on the screen, guys.
Correct. In Physics 101, gravity has no effect on the direction of gas.
Where does it say that? Sorry, I just want to hear what he said again there. 47.
Pressure, which presses from the top down, you're going to have to accept that you don't know what you're talking about.
Physics. I just got to correct. In Physics 101, gravity has no effect on the direction of gas.
I'm going to need a citation for that, Flatzoid. I'm literally going to need a citation that's Physics 101. I mean, you know that that's a lie. I've told you that that's a lie. In high school, you learn that gas is affected by gravity. Flatzoid, I challenge you to find me a citation that says gravity has no effect on gas. Go on then, find me that citation and I'll delete my channel.
Why would you expect it to have it in the first place, Sean? Is it because gravity is a force in your nonsense? We've just been through how gravity is not a force. It was superseded a long time ago. Yet you're still here preaching that gravity is a force. Are you really going to be that stupid to do that in the chat whilst we're talking about how the current position in physics supersedes that, and it's clear for everybody to go and see? Yet you're going to still chant in chat. Really?
I mean,
Anthony Sean's that thick, you don't realise he's thick.
Yeah, he's so dumb. He thinks pouring sulfur hexafluoride in a fish tank, you don't need a container lid to keep that sulfur hexafluoride in because it will stay there indefinitely. That's how dumb the guy is.
He's thick as two short planks, man. Everything he says, he's just debunking himself.
Dude, Cerulean photography debunks your claim that gas go down, go boom boom, mate. Also, one of my
Gas go
first
down,
videos
go boom,
ever on
mate.
my
Well,
channel
you know,
showing
it
Chilean
does,
optics.
definitely.
It shows the gas has behavior. It shows it can go in all directions, just like in pouring helium and it goes up. It still disperses around in all directions, just like in pouring sulfur hexafluoride. It pulls down and disperses into the available space.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
I don't need to say anything. That did it for me, really.
It's called the arrow of time, Sean. It takes differences in time to disperse. It doesn't do it instantly, like as in, let me pour it and it just spreads out like a explosion.
Oh, okay, yeah. And what force is dictating the speed of the dispersion of the gas? Why is it that different gases would disperse at different speeds? Why is it that they use mustard gas to kill troops in the world wars? Because that gas sat on the bottom of all the other gas. Because, you know, it didn't disperse really quickly. What force kept it from dispersing as quick as other gases? Maybe there was something dictating that. I don't know. Maybe a little something like
Gravity, you fucking retard! Gravity! Have you ever heard of fucking gravity? Gravity! Gravity!
That's just you being very ignorant.
It would if there was no atmosphere, though. If it was the case that we lived in a vacuum and you did that, it would do exactly that. It would immediately displace.
Because there's pressure around it. There's pressure around it.
Yeah, there's air already around us. It's like pouring water into water. It's going to take time before it immerses, right?
Look what happens when I did my Tide video. When I took the hot water and the cold water, I put the one side, I put a blue dye and the red dye on the other side. You saw how it mixed, but it took time to mix. It's exactly the same because there's already pressure around.
Yeah. But what I will say, Sean, you are equally as stupid as what Fight the Flat Earth is, because you both make the same nonsense arguments and you completely ignore the current position in physics. You completely ignore that position that you both push for hasn't been the case since World War One.
Again, Riley, gravity didn't stop creating a force because there also became a better explanation for what is going on. Every single day in engineering, gravity is considered a force for the calculations that you make. Every single day in the navigation of submarines, gravity is considered a force for the buoyancy calculations that you make. Every single day, gravity is considered a force when we put satellites into orbit. Now, I know you don't believe that, but that's because you're a fucking talking monkey. I apologize to monkeys, that was not fair. So, gravity hasn't stopped being a force or creating a force. That position never stopped being the position that engineers and physicists use every single day. Just because there is a more complicated, more accurate way of describing things doesn't change what works. Again, that works. Xbox Series X definitely works. I can play the new Forza Motorsport on that, right? If I want to play Forza Motorsport 6, I can do it on this one. It still plays Forza Motorsport 6, but it won't play the new Forza Motorsport. But it doesn't stop being able to play Forza Motorsport. Because even though that superseded this still works. You dumbass.
So you're both as equally as stupid as each other.
I'll have to disagree with you. Sean is the stupidest.
2 shot plants, tuna sandwich.
No, I think it's worse.
Bag of Spanos.
Sean is
I think it's
really
worse for
stupid.
fighting Flat Earth.
He's really
It's worse
worse.
for fighting Flat Earth because if he was actually taught, if he did do a physics degree, which he claims he did, if he actually did a physics degree, he's worse than Sean Hawkins because he knows that gravity's not a force because he was taught it.
Yeah, but
Yeah, again, I did the physics degree, you didn't. I know what was taught, you didn't. Every physicist I ever ask agrees with me.
that would
But
just,
if he
that
didn't
would
do
just
the degree-
dishonesty though. Because he
Yeah, but that
knows,
makes
he
it
knows.
worse.
Yeah, that makes it worse because he knows the answer. He just, I mean, I remember the first debate ever I had with Sean Hawkins, where we talked about thermodynamics and gas behavior, where he comes and tells me Earth is classified, as an open system, and it doesn't let matter through its boundaries.
Apart from rockets.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't understand. You can classify something as an open or closed system mathematically. It doesn't make it physically open or closed.
And what you don't understand is that in science, it's not always black and white. You can have a practically closed system, or a nearly open system, or an almost closed system. It doesn't have to be exactly one or the other. There are exact definitions for one and the other. A closed system doesn't allow matter to go through, etc. But you can have, excuse me, sorry, I'm still getting over whatever I've been getting over with. But you can have a nearly closed system where it's almost like that. And into the room comes the Toon. Let's get him up on screen. Hello, Toon.
Hello.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. What's going on?
Oh, we're just laughing at Riley and Flatzoid because they're flat earthers and they say extremely dumb things all of the time.
They're the dumbest people on the globe.
Yeah. So you know how gravity's just a bit of refraction, right?
So I've heard.
Yeah. Did you also know that arc seconds are a measurement of time?
Oh dear.
Yeah. And also, fiber optic gyroscopes measure the diffraction of light. Oh, also, a fiber optic gyroscope can be affected by the refraction of the air of the room that it's in. Yeah, apparently so. And also, fiber optic gyroscopes only work if they're bolted to something.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know.
You got a good collection of wrongness from them.
It physically hurts.
Oh my gosh. And yet they think they're smarter than everybody else.
They do. I mean, you can have Flatzoid, right? Honest, he's yours. This stream alone puts Riley in the running for top left next year.
These are from him, huh?
Yeah, all of these things, every single one of these stupid things is from him.
This is gonna be a fight.
I know.
Right.
This is why I genuinely love Riley, right? Because he'd disappear for 6, 7, 8, 9 months, but every time he comes back, he has new stupid. He is the one that brings the new dumb to the table, and I love it. Flatzoid will just say the same dumb things that Oakley's been saying
he's
for
just a
years.
parrot. He's a parrot of dumb.
But Riley turns up and says the most incredibly stupid things, like arc seconds is a measurement of time.
Do you think like he sits around at home, just wearing his tidy whities with like he's got his notebook right here, and he's got his crayon, right? And he's like, arc seconds are time. Of course, you turn it over and you look at it, it's just scribbles. But he's pretending.
He thinks it's something.
Sitting there in his mom's recliner. Arc seconds are time. And laser gyros are affected by refraction. Scribble, scribble, scribble. Oh my gosh.
It's the way that Flatzoid's just sitting there agreeing with him as well. Like,
gobbling it up. Like Flatzoid looks up. Think about this. Flatzoid looks up to Sleeping Warrior.
Oh, poor guy.
Sleeping Warrior. And who does Sleeping Warrior look up to?
The name that I don't like to mention, but I do because he's so vile, Nathan Oakley.
Never heard of him.
Oakley. And I have been lying to people about the Earth being flat for a lot of years. I did this to hide the fact I have a small penis.
I like that he was laughing at the end.
Yeah, that AI did well.
That's perfect. Yeah. Well, all right. Are you in the stream now?
Yes. Yeah. So we've been going for about 55 minutes. There's still, even after the 3 streams, there's still 33 minutes of Flatzoid and Sleeping Warrior talking about Gravity to go. It's hard. Like, PhD Tony was here and he managed to keep it together. You know, when I told him that Riley said that gravity is just a bit of refraction, I was impressed that he didn't spontaneously combust.
What does Riley like drive a van for a living still? Do we know?
I don't know. I mean, they say that flat earthers have got jobs, but I don't know if giving hand jobs at your local gas station technically counts as a job.
Hey. That is charity. But no, that's not. No. Naughty. Just a second. I gotta top off.
You gotta top off. Yeah, I'll just drink my Klingon blood wine.
All right. Well,
the Klingons killed their own gods because they were just too much hassle.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's.
Oh, by the way, right? Translating the Antarctic Treaty into Klingon is I've had to go to Reddit and find experts in Klingon translation to help me with this. Okay.
Yeah, because there's no Klingon word for peace.
Yeah, pretty much. Exactly. The nicest thing you can say in Klingon is, I'm not going to slit your throat today, you know?
Yeah, so yeah, just write that. It's I'm not going to slit your throat today treaty.
Yeah. But I will be able to do it, and it will have the essence of the Antarctic Treaty, shall we say, as close as possible.
We should, are you going to put the Klingon on screen?
Yes.
With the Englishized version of it.
That's the plan.
Which won't, of course, match the other direction. Like you could have the treaty, then you could have the Klingon, then you could have the Englishized version of the Klingon underneath it, I suppose.
Yeah, the close enough. I mean, the thing is, if you translate what I've done back into English, it makes absolutely no sense.
Excellent.
Oh my god!
All right, well, I'm ready. The tab has had a chance to take hold.
Good. Right, so right now they're pushing very hard how Einstein superseded Newton. You know, so therefore we can't do Newton anymore. And I keep pointing out that I've got both an Xbox Series X and an Xbox One. And even though my Xbox Series X superseded my Xbox One still works.
Well, it doesn't help them to say it's superseded, because it still means that there is an acceleration between masses.
Yeah, exactly.
That's still what Einstein says, that the field equations say that and predict a certain magnitude of it.
Yeah, and we
it doesn't. I don't know why they would say that Einstein just accept them at that. Okay, fine. Einstein did whatever.
It's because
I'm a dumb flat earther and I don't understand science.
All right, PhD Tony. Hold on a second. PhD Tony. Can you get MC Toon Live to anglicize the word English size? Yes. I apologize, PhD Tony. I should not have said English size. I should have said Englishify. Retraction made. I thank you for your service.
You Americans have no idea how to spell or anything anyway. You know.
Hey, what? You don't need that extra U in color. It's superfluous.
If you want to spell it wrong, you're right. You don't need that extra U. You know, if you want to spell the word incorrectly, you can leave the U
What's
out.
it doing hanging out in there? You don't need it.
Well, it's because English stole its language from everyone else. That's why we spell lieutenant without any F's.
Wait. No, it's lieutenant.
Yeah, no, the word is lieutenant, coming from the French meaning commander, and then because there's no F in the word, the Americans say it how it sounds. But yeah, it's lieutenant. No matter what you say, it's just because you don't understand. And
what?
Spell the word live.
Whatever, Craig.
Spell the word live for me.
Live?
Yeah.
Live?
No, actually spell live, not live.
Live is live.
Live.
Let's do everything phonetically. We can get rid of.
You know this if you studied physics.
Shush. Oh, this is another thing that they are pushing really hard. Is that I clearly don't have a physics degree, because if I had a physics degree, I would know we don't use Newton.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because he's been in university to know this.
Well, I mean, Riley walked into university once because he was lost, and he thought it was that gas station that we talked about earlier. Community college.
I'm surprised.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
I'm surprised he didn't start on fire.
Oh, I mean, it's not like Riley tried to get a paper that he wrote into university about flat Earth or anything, is it?
Oh, geez, yeah. So it's quite something for these two people, neither of which have studied physics at university level, to be saying what physics at university level courses are like.
Yeah. And this is why I hold the challenge that if you can get someone with a master's degree in physics, master's or higher, to come on and say that I'm wrong about gravity and Flatzoid and Steve Moore, you're right, I will delete my channel and I'll delete MC Toon's channel, both of them.
Hey, speak for yourself.
And I'll delete Simon Dan's channel, I'll delete Dave McKeegan's channel. I made the joke to Flatzoid that I'd also delete his channel, and he took it seriously and threatened a federal case against me. Please explain how someone in South Africa can raise a federal case against someone in Scotland.
So when he says federal case, he means a United States federal case?
I assume so.
Because we use the word federal here. You don't, do you?
No, federal's not a thing here.
Wow. What court will he file this federal case in?
I've no idea, but I'd turn up.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can look up articles that say that there's tons and tons and tons of hydrogen and helium lost to space every day.
Mm-hmm. Sean wants to debate you, Anthony.
Okay. There's no point talking to either Sean or Fight the Flat Earth, because it's not a debate topic. You just don't know your current science, that's all.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
So he's refusing to debate me based on the fact of his misunderstanding of current science and me not agreeing with him. So basically, he will debate me if I agree with the wrong thing.
Well, that is. Have you seen my coward debate escape tactics?
No.
Well, I'll send it to you here.
Oh yeah. Is it a list of how they get out of debates?
Yes, it's 10 things that I've identified that cowards will use to hide behind when they want to talk boldly but don't want to face somebody live.
Ah, right. Blocking. Yep. Saying there is no debate. Riley, doing that right now. 3, someone else has already demolished the challenger. Yep, we get that all the time. Apparently, Witsit demolished me. I mean, the 11 debates I had with him say otherwise, but demand a concession in order to debate. Yeah, that's what Sleeping Warrior's
That's
also
what
doing.
Sleeping Warrior's doing, yeah.
Yeah, he's doing 2 of them. He's saying there is no debate, and he's demanding a concession at the same time. Saying you're a shill, I get that all of the time, of course, because I am paid by NASA, obviously. Or asking to be paid. Yeah, I get that quite a lot as well. We're already debating by the comment here. Facebook is not a debate place. Challenging someone that's already said they won't debate this topic. Simon Dan, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Yet running away from me. Caleb. Demand to debate in person at your location. I've sent Dell my address. He didn't turn up. Screaming, do it now. No. Yeah, that sounds about right. That works perfectly for most Flerfs. All of the Flerfs.
Yeah, I whenever somebody tries to escape, it's usually right on there.
Oh, it's these people think they're smart too, like actually smart.
Yeah.
It's the end of the debate.
I think Sean should rather hide his head now, as he's been shown to be a lying twat who manipulates images to try to suit his point. And while he does it, he still shows there was actual parallax because he had to manipulate the image to get them to line up. So showing it was parallax. Well done.
Things that never happened for 500, please, Bob.
Yeah. Anyway, let's push on because I want to try and get done in the next 15 minutes, right?
Oh yeah, it's 15.
Yeah, obviously we need to push on because as this audience is eagerly waiting for your continuation of your lecture, Riley.
Yeah, let's do that.
So we've got 1915 general relativity, right? Now, there's a few more entries in here after 1915. You've got the quantum mechanics element. So you've got gravitation. Hang on, where is it? I can't find it now. It's not.
Oh, that's something else they said, Toon. The reason why quantum mechanics isn't like the current explanation is because it hasn't been given enough money and isn't fancy enough.
Quantum mechanics is not fancy enough?
Apparently so, and it also wasn't given enough money, even though, the $4.7 billion to make the Large Hadron Collider, of course, it wasn't given any money.
What? Oh my gosh.
I know, right?
There's not a whole lot of science that's received more money than quantum mechanics.
I know. And I do like the fact that the Large Hadron Collider is just a really scientific way of smashing rocks together.
Yeah, very small rocks.
Yeah.
The kind that float.
I'd like to throw two flat earthers in there and see what happened when they collide at the speed of light.
Ooh. Nearly
the speed of light, yeah.
The speed, yeah.
There, I thought it was there, but I've not looked at this document for a long time. But anyway, let's fast forward to the 1990s, because this is where we start talking.
Oh, right. So we're skipping from 1950 to 1915 to 1990.
Oh, nothing happened in science between there.
Obviously not. There was nothing going on for that whole time. 1915 to 1990, there was nothing. No development of the nuclear bomb, no advancement in electricity and motor industry, no aviation advancements. Nothing happened between those times, right?
Nah, no, nothing.
But LIGO. Now, the thing is, LIGO would not exist if Einstein didn't supersede Newton. There would be no point in building LIGO at a cost of upwards of $3 billion if it didn't supersede Newton. If it was running alongside of it or refined it in some way, it wouldn't even need to exist because it wouldn't need to be proven that these things existed. But the reality is it's not even measuring anything to do with Newtonian principles anyway.
Well, I mean, he's right there.
Yeah, it wasn't set up.
It's not measuring anything. Yeah.
Newton
It's
predicted. It is based
definitely
on
an
Einstein's
application
predictions.
of the things that Einstein posited.
He's basically been complaining about LIGO because it's just set to back up Einstein. Well, not really Einstein, but maybe Einstein's predictions, because that's what you do in science, right? You test predictions.
Yeah, well, let's just... I just want to be clear that I understand. Riley is saying that for one of his evidences that gravity doesn't exist is LIGO, which has successfully measured gravitational waves when very distant, many light year distant objects collide into each other.
That. He had the vacuum that the LIGO in is subject to pressure changes. That's what he said.
Oh,
yeah.
That's new.
And
he knows this because
that's what it's measuring.
He's seen the measurements of it, of course.
Yeah, it's just it has different pressure. If the temperature outside LIGO changes, it changes the pressure in the vacuum, which is no pressure.
I don't know how that happened.
But Riley said that's
amazing.
What it's measuring. So I mean, but
the thing is, if Flerfs don't measure,
wouldn't it just be measuring the diffraction of light, just like the fiber optic gyroscope?
Yeah, the refraction of the room.
Yeah,
that's not that's not. That's been
they're so dumb.
Got an actual container, a container with a physical wall between the two. somehow.
Oh, Lord Loomis Pooh's got a very important point that we shouldn't put two Flerfs in the Hadron Collider. For $5, he says, Flerfs in the Hadron Collider, two things that dense colliding at that speed will most definitely cause a black hole. You're right. Don't do that.
Yep.
That LIGO detecting the claim of gravitational lensing in any gravitational what's it called?
No,
wait,
the movement
waves.
of the medium.
Waves.
Detecting gravitational waves.
Oh, good job.
Gravitational wave.
He got there. He got there in the end.
Oh, that's a good boy.
Although, to be fair, I do that quite often. I forget a word and I'll just describe the word. Or my wife would do it. Like
It's all good. I was
talking about
rooting
putting
for
up
him
in the kitchen, and we were putting a hook up in the kitchen for the aprons to go on. And my wife couldn't think of the word apron. She was like, "Yeah, a hook for the thing where when cooking." Yeah, apron. Words are hard.
It didn't even exist in Newton. They weren't part of his nonsense. So the fact that this exists.
Wait, did he just say that gravitational waves were not part of Einstein's nonsense?
Newton.
Oh yeah, no, Newton.
Not part of Newton. Yeah, because Newton didn't propose a mechanism.
No, he didn't
Einstein
propose
did.
gravitational waves of any kind or predict black holes. Newton literally just predicted this thing go towards that thing. Don't know why.
Yeah, and don't know how fast the attraction travels between them.
Yeah, it assumed instantaneous by his calculations, which is why he was like, I don't really like that. Maybe not in that really bad Scottish accent. But...
Okay, so I want to hear how the measurement of gravitational waves destroys gravity.
I know, it's brilliant. Let's hear it.
Is the proof that Newton did not, or Einstein did not supersede Newton in any way. It was fundamentally changed.
Exactly.
Now,
and this is why they...
Sorry. Now Einstein didn't supersede Newton? I need to go back a little
No,
bit.
I think he maybe misspoke. He didn't. That's not what he
that LIGO detecting the claim of gravitational lensing in any gravitational what's it called? The movement of the medium.
Waves.
Detecting gravitational waves. The gravitational waves didn't even exist in Newton. They weren't part of his nonsense. So the fact that this exists is the proof that Newton did not, or Einstein did not supersede Newton in any way. It was fundamentally changed.
Exactly.
Now,
and this is why they came up with...
Right. So because Einstein predicts gravitational waves and black holes, it didn't supersede Newton. It's just something completely different.
Totally different thing. Even though, for our reference frame, it's the same formula. Never mind that.
Yeah, no, it doesn't
These
matter.
are not the droids you're looking for. There is... Pay no heed to the man behind the curtain.
No. It doesn't
This
matter that, you can use Einstein's calculations to calculate everything you can with Newton's. It doesn't matter that
Never mind that, yeah.
they're essentially the same
All right.
thing at non-relativistic speeds. It doesn't ignore all of that.
But again, what is he going to accomplish in this whole process here? He's not going to accomplish anything. Mass still is accelerated towards mass.
Yeah.
In Einstein.
I can't wait. I can't wait for him to debunk gravity with gravity.
Yeah, all right. Let's hear it.
And this is why they came up with gravitational pooling as well. Pockets of gravity.
I mean, I'm eating my tea now while I'm doing this, and this is like, if I called this my, instead of calling it my tea or my dinner, if I called it my...
I think he's talking about that joke of the guy on the space station with the hammer.
Oh, that has to be it.
Yeah,
the hammer and the card.
Heard pockets of gravity.
So that's I forgot the name. He went up twice.
Yeah.
Lord British.
Aye.
And he was in there was a shock jock DJ in America here that had a flat earther on in the room. I don't know if you've seen this. Tell me if you have. Had this flat earther on this morning talk show. And then it's Richard Garriott is his name. And Richard wasn't there yet. Like, oh, we're going to interview a flat earther, and here's this, and oh, we've got our friend coming in, Richard, who he's the Glober friend, and then they start talking, and the flat earther's like, well, they're all just actors in space, and Richard is like, I was in space. But anyway, it was genius. But then he talked about the card trick that he did and how he had that little it's a magician's thing. It's a spool of stuff. It's a spool with very thin thread on it, so you can't see it, connected to the card. That's how he did it.
He just pulls it and the hammer falls down. Oh, I found a pocket of gravity.
Yeah. Well, not the hammer. It was the card. Just a playing card.
Yeah. The thing is with jokes and stuff, it's just over their head.
They don't understand sarcasm or jokes or anything.
Tying shoelaces, putting on crash helmets. They don't understand any of it. Chris for $2 says, the Temple of Toon on FTFE. What is this heresy?
Gravitational dinner. Instantly, it supports your nonsense, so you're going to accept that I'm eating me dinner because I've put gravitational tea in front of it, right? But if I just say I'm eating me dinner or me tea, it just means that I'm eating me tea. Mm-hmm. But that word gravitational in front of it, it's got mystery. It's got mysteriousness to it. It's got fanciness to it that everybody wants to believe in, right? So it sounds credible. Bottom line is, it's whatever LIGO's doing, it's got nothing to do with Newtonian gravitation. It wasn't part of his nonsense.
You're right. It's nothing to do with Newton. Newton never had anything that predicted what LIGO has found. That came later with Einstein.
I have a question for you, Craig.
Yeah.
So Sleepy just said, eaten me tea.
Yeah.
Now I do understand that tea is sometimes referred to as a meal.
Yeah,
right?
in Britain, tea can sometimes be referred to as a late afternoon lunch or as a replacement word for your evening dinner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or a beverage. Okay, so when he says eating me tea.
Eating me tea.
Now, I would say eating my tea.
Yeah, it's just that he's a yokel.
It's what?
It's just that he's a yokel.
Okay, so I just want to be clear. It sounds to me like a doofus talk, but I don't know.
No, it wasn't just British slang. It was being dumb.
Okay.
Good. Just so we're clear.
So when they're like in it, that's another one, right?
Yeah. Catch me outside in it. Right.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's the point. So what I've just demonstrated over these two topics, these two articles, is if you go to Google or Yahoo in this case, and you search for
"Is the Earth flat?" they will say no.
Chronology of gravity. You only need these two documents to be up to speed with the current position in physics, to be able to bat off these idiots, and then the bottom line.
Oh, right. So all you need to understand current physics is the first two results on Google. Did you know that?
Yep. Yeah, and they can't be bothered to actually learn about how these things work.
No.
Yeah.
And what they're going to do is they won't even read the article. They'll just read the title and maybe a couple of words. Not the whole article.
And you realize that there is no conversation, there is no dispute, there is no discussion, there is no debate. The bottom line is, if you know your current physics, you know that gravity is an optical phenomenon that's more akin to refraction than it is to an acceleration.
He said it again!
Whoa!
He said it again!
Where's the citation?
So I was in... Right, Flatzoid took a clip of when PhD Tony was on the for part 2 and completely, just took a clip out of context and then laughed at it. And then Sleeping Warrior doubled down on what he was saying because I left a comment and Sleeping Warrior's like, well, how many newtons does it take to accelerate the Horizon Skunk Bay time lapse?
Oh my gosh.
He doesn't understand that two phenomena can have the same outcome. Refraction can change the path of light. Gravity can also change the path of light. Just because two things can accomplish the same thing doesn't mean those two things are the same thing.
And the amount oh my goodness, the amount of curvature that light experiences due to mass warping spacetime is quite a bit smaller than what refraction can do.
For some reason, they think that because it's a bit of a simplistic way to put it, but they say that relativity is reference frame based, which is kind of right. You know, it's a bit simplistic, but it's kind of right. But they think because it's reference frame based, that means everything to do with it is just an optical phenomenon and not actually happening. Yeah.
And they think they're smarter than everyone else.
Exactly. Like, I've tried to.
They think they know how physics is taught at university, having never taken a physics class at university.
No, none at all. I would pay for Riley to go to college and do a physics course. Only if it was recorded.
Yeah, he has to go every day.
Yep. Do the work. Complete the assignments.
He couldn't. He couldn't. It'd be him sitting around in his tidy whities in his mom's recliner. I'm doing my physics homework. It's just a crayon. Just scribbling around. He turns it in. Teacher goes, no points. He's like, you're dumb. I'm smarter than you.
You don't know the current science. Earlier on, Flatzoid, in the smuggest, most arrogant way, said, because Sean Hawkins was in there arguing with him in the chat, and Flatzoid turns to him, Sean Hawkins, Physics 101, gravity does not affect gas.
Physics 101. Physics 101. Everything has mass. Everything has mass. Oh my god.
It's brilliant. It's just fantastic.
I have an air compressor. It's too large. I thought about how could I weigh the air compressor. I don't have a scale big enough for the air compressor. It's a big air compressor. I have a small one. I have a small air compressor. I can do it. I can weigh the before and after. I'll do that.
But gas doesn't have mass, so doesn't matter.
Well, that we can test that hypothesis.
They'd probably just say it's just because the pressure inside it's increased or something.
Of course.
Yeah.
Meaning there's more stuff inside. There's more gas inside. No, it's just the pressure made it heavy.
No, it's just the refraction of the air around it making it look heavier.
All right, Bendy says he can do that as well. So if anybody wants to get a video of an air compressor on a scale, before and after, let's do it. So we have a few. That'd be great.
Ultimate Reductionist in the chat says, Flerfs on a plane. Samuel L. Jackson. I have had enough of these motherfucking Flerfs on this motherfucking plane. But he doesn't have to shoot any of them to look out the window because they just jump and smash into the back of the plane. I think we should do like a series of skits, like where it's physics as described by flat earthers, right?
They jump and they get slammed in the back of the plane. We need Flat Derp to do the animations for it.
That'd be brilliant.
Caused by a force that's not a force that you can think of as a force. It's an optical phenomena. It's refraction. It's literally.
So it's not physical. Yeah, so it's not physical. Exactly.
Yeah. And we don't calculate the acceleration of things on the horizon like boats refracting with a force of Newton's, do we? We say that they're accelerating because.
No, we don't say that there's an acceleration of boats on the horizon.
None of this happens.
He thinks
so
right because
dumb. I don't get it. How dumb he is, and he thinks he understands this.
Excuse me. So he's imagining a boat sitting on the horizon, and throughout the day, refraction making it go up and down slightly according to our vision. And he thinks that because of that, we can calculate the acceleration and the force being applied. But here's the thing, right? Everybody viewing that boat from different positions is going to see a slightly different thing. So does that mean there's a different force being applied depending on who's looking at it?
I don't know. Yeah, if you're at a different elevation, the force changed.
Apparently
That is what that's called is forced perspective. Didn't you know?
Ahoy, hoy, Planet Walk. How you doing, my friend?
Like Charlie Welch's Flats has hemorrhoids. He's like boosting himself up so it doesn't press down on it. He forgot his donut.
Maybe that's why he's got that chair.
His donut pillow.
Refraction, and we never even calculate it. We never calculate the apparent acceleration, and that's what the current science tells you. Current science tells you it's an apparent acceleration. It's not created by it's not causing a force. It's just an apparent. It's a bit of refraction. That's all it is. And if you know that,
he said it again.
Oh, so dumb. He just keeps. Oh my gosh! He keeps saying the same dumb thing.
you don't have to talk to these idiots anymore. You just got to laugh at them because they're lying to you. And it's up to you to work it out. If you don't work it out, it's on you.
Yeah, exactly.
If you do work it out, you just laugh at them because there is no conversation. There is no debate. They're just lying.
Yeah,
the nonsense. And that's the end of it.
Yeah, I just want to quickly read the super chat. Thank you, Face Reality, for your $5 super chat, mate. Really, really appreciate it. It says, sorry, Sean. There's nobody living antipodal 7,917 miles beneath your feet. Boats, trains, and planes aren't cruising upside down relative to you. Exactly, 100% fact. Thank you so much, Face Reality. Really appreciate it. Notice that you cannot do this observation to say anybody is antipodal. There's no such observation in reality.
Exactly.
What?
Well, I mean, you could get two people look at the moon at the same time and notice that it's upside down for one of you.
Yeah.
Right? So, just because somebody says there is no one living antipodal, that's it.
Well, it is. You see this a lot, especially, on Facebook when somebody posts. They're like, "Show me this," and you show them this. Their response then is often to do the same thing. They go into a religious mantra repeating session, right? So that was just a religious mantra, and they'll do that on Facebook. They're like, "Show me pictures of the curve." Show it to them, and then there it is. Boom, boom, boom. They just go right down the list of the claims. Like, you didn't respond. You asked for something, I gave it to you. Nothing.
Well, what normally happens is you give the evidence and then you get blocked, which is, I think 3 flat earthers today have done that to me.
That's another thing they do.
There's no photos of this. Here's a photo of, you can't respond to this post. Oh, right. Okay, then.
It's fake. It's CGI. Did you take it yourself? Well, you didn't say that beforehand.
Yeah.
So what's that called? Goalpost move.
And now the Jonathan guy that I sent you a message about earlier that thinks Durf's photos are real says that if you can't create a scaled down model of it, then it's not real.
Oh, well, if you can't create a scaled down model of flat Earth, then it's not real either. Note that you need to have the water on there stay at the bottom regardless of the orientation, because according to them, gravity doesn't exist. So you should be able to turn it sideways and have the water still go to where the water goes in their pizza pie land.
But we can actually make a scaled down model of, say, the solar system and show that things like eclipses and that work. Where's the scaled down model of flat Earth to show how eclipses work? Although
that's
Jonathan was speaking to sent me a video saying that there's actually 2 suns and that explains eclipses.
Yeah, just the second one that we don't see.
Yeah, no, exactly. In fact, he sent me a video that literally is titled, "Here's 2 suns, the one we see and the one we don't, except in the video we see it."
Oh, well, how do we see it if we can't see it?
Oh, because this guy can see it through the telescope, apparently.
That's interesting.
I think that's copyrighted by journalism. I don't know if you're allowed to say that.
What's that?
Interesting.
No, I've licensed that from him.
Right. Okay then. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, the licensing fee is pretty good. I pay exactly $0 a year.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, I have a band.
Yeah, I know. Well, band.
I played the music for you, right? I'm like, you got to listen to it.
Music. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have nightmares.
And you what?
I still have nightmares.
That was the goal. But our band had a licensing deal for t-shirts. It's a plain white logo on a white shirt, available in all Target, Kmart, and Pomidas in the United States. But the market, the pricing was, we got paid $0 for each one. It's kind of sucked. We were excited at first.
Riley must have been your lawyer, eh?
No comment.
If there was such thing as space, they would be able to take a photo of something on the top of the ball and something at the bottom of the ball at the same time, antipodal to each other. You'd be able to do that.
At the same time.
To take photos of boats on this.
So are they able to point out the camera that would be able to have the detail of the entire Earth and able to zoom in to see boats? I would love to know which camera that is with the 12 quadrillion megapixel image.
Oh my gosh.
So basically, because a camera that does what he asks for doesn't exist, so a camera that can picture the entire Earth but have enough detail to show boats on both sides, that doesn't exist, therefore Earth flat.
So it's the hypocrisy. This is the third law of Flerf, right? They demand that Globe produce this.
Yeah.
Without having that produced for Flat Earth. Right? By the same token, Flat Earth should be able to take a single picture of the entire Flat Earth and zoom in on somebody in southern South America and Flatzoid's house, apparently at the same time, somehow, to see them both being upright at the same time. But they can't do that, so third law of Flerf.
Yeah, no, exactly. But, yeah, I'd love to have the technology that they think exists. I would, maybe they watched Men in Black and that scene where Q looks down on his wife, and he's got the satellite and he looks down. Maybe they think that's real. They don't realize that was a movie. There isn't actually a secret organization that's looking after intergalactic affairs on Earth. That wasn't a documentary, okay? Poor guys, they're so confused, right?
I like it when they're like, well, how come we don't have a 24/7 camera on the moon of the Earth spinning? Like, why would that be interesting? Well, can you imagine the marketing deals? Yeah, none.
Yeah.
Why would that be something? How would that be any different than the other 24/7 things that we have looking at the Earth? You would just deny those as the same as you deny everything else.
TV station
it would just be
existed for
one more
years.
in the list of things you deny blindly.
Yeah. Just, DirecTV was a thing. One of the channels was literally just the Earth, 24 hours a day. Crazy.
Yeah. Kind of boring, actually.
Yeah.
Imagine the marketing deals. What marketing?
How
would you market that?
They're going to laser Coke onto the side of the Earth and see it from space?
Well, that's what Rad Vlad was talking about. He's like, wouldn't it be cool if some guy's sitting there, on his boat? He's just sitting there kicking back on his boat. He'd pay money for that. Like, no, why would you zoom in on a guy in his boat? You could do the same with a drone. Well, how would that be valuable?
Flat Earthers just don't get that NASA doesn't care about proving shit to you.
They also are not allowed to earn money. They're a government agency. They get money every year. That's it.
The crazy thing is you can go on the website and look at their budget and what they spend.
Audit NASA, Witsit, huh? Audit.
Yeah, audit NASA. What, you mean just go to nasa.com? Oh, Witsit, you're a special boy.
Side of the globe, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
It's crazy. But yeah, at the end of the day, exactly, Sleeping, gravity is just optical. So they can just false equivocate it to call it a force of attraction, which it can't be because it's just optical, and it can't be fictitious because for it to be fictitious you require physical force to help it to arise. So what is gravity?
So much idiocy.
Those were words. Am I
Gravity
wrong
is
by
just
saying
optical.
all of those were words? They definitely were, right?
Why is somebody this dumb able to?
You know what really makes me sad, Toon, is that we're the same species as them.
No, I don't. No.
I know
Please
it's
don't.
upsetting, but we are. You know, we're genetically, practically identical to them.
All right. Austin heard me talking about him, and he sent me a message.
I'm a stupid flat earther, right? And I'm just a loser.
All right.
Yeah, well, we do know that. I mean, why does he keep telling us the same thing?
I'm a dumb flat earther, and I don't understand science.
Riley, we know, bud.
No
one asked for you to come in.
Hey guys, do you want to hear a funny story while we're all chatting, dude? I'm dating a first grader.
Are you letting them in?
Nope, I wouldn't let him in.
You know, I want to be a urinator. This morning, I went to the toilet.
Well done, Santos. I bet you're proud of yourself.
Good
For all the people I've stumbled.
And then I'd like to know how my balls taste.
Fuck you, and I hope you never come back to my channel again. I'm masturbating.
Craig, do you know of any good yoga studios near? I don't exactly remember where Oakley lives, but he's looking for a yoga studio. He's working on his flexibility. So here's why.
Now I'd like to know how my balls taste.
So he's got to be working.
Right.
It's a flexibility thing.
It's kind of hard. Apparently Prince had 2 of his ribs removed, so to help with that.
When I was a young boy, I grew up on the farm. I'm a country boy.
Bad.
I used to fuck the
Bad
cows and the pigs. I used to fuck the pigs, and the cows would come, and I would pat them and look into their eyes. Pigs look gorgeous, and cows are beautiful. I love the look of cows.
He's got issues, man. I mean,
that boy ain't right. Again, I'm.
There
It
is
is
no
a
gravity.
skill.
Yeah, there is.
So what was that?
It's a skill that he can do one thing to the cows and then the pigs do something
Yeah, I
else
mean,
as a result. How he does that,
impressive.
some magical tantric stuff, no doubt.
Well, that's what you learn at his courses. The problem is that a lot of the cows say
no.
Hey guys, do you want to hear a funny story
Nathan.
while we're all chatting, dude? I'm dating a first grader.
I mean, no one cares, Nathan. Go away.
No gravity.
It's the optical phenomena of the dome flexing as a result of convection currents.
There we go.
Sorry, what? Whoa! Whoa! What did he just say?
Complicated to call it a
You gotta have him say that
attraction,
again.
which it can't be because it's just optical, and it can't be fictitious because for it to be fictitious you require physical force to help it to arise. So what is gravity at the end of the day? There is no
An optical
gravity.
phenomena.
Yeah, there is no gravity.
It's the optical phenomena of the dome flexing as a result of convection currents.
Oh
my gosh.
It's an optical phenomenon of a result of the dome flexing due to convection currents.
Oh my gosh. It's so dumb.
Right,
did
Tony, you're in
he
the
just
chat.
make that up just so that gullible people could think that he was right and believe him? Or is he that dumb?
Desert Files in the chat, and he is a bit, confused by that.
It's the dome flexing. So gravity is the dome flexing.
Well, it's the
because
optical phenomenon of the dome flexing due to convection currents. I'm assuming convection currents of the air, right? But here's the thing. We know there's a pressure gradient that goes to practically 0, so there would be no convection currents where the dome is.
Yeah, you go 100 kilometers up. There's essentially no air. You double that, you're still. How high is the dome? But there's no air.
I just want it once more.
What is gravity at the end of the day? There is no
An
gravity.
optical phenomena.
Yeah, there is no gravity.
It's the optical phenomena of the dome flexing as a result of convection currents.
No, yeah, I'm not. This isn't some kind of fever dream. He did say that. PhD Tony, as someone that works with gravity every day, how does that make you feel? That gravity is just an optical phenomenon of the dome flexing due to convection currents? Someone clip that for me. I need that as a soundbite.
I will. Yes, I will be getting that.
I can't even like.
So, right, hold on.
This. I'm telling you, this is why I love Riley. Only Riley can come up with that.
All right, I want to make sure I have this video. What's the name of this particular?
Sleeping Warrior discusses gravity.
Okay, all right. Oh my goodness.
And it's 5 minutes 53. It starts when he's saying that. Sorry, 56 minutes 53.
All right.
I just have to hear it once more because it's just mind blowing.
What is gravity at the end of the day? There is no
An
gravity.
optical phenomena.
Yeah, there is no gravity.
It's the optical phenomena of the dome flexing as a result of convection currents.
It doesn't get any less funnier each time I listen.
Keep saying it. It's so tough. All right. I have to. All right, I'm tagging that video so I can.
PhD Tony says, "Is that the world record for the most derp in one sentence?"
Oh,
it might be. Oh my god, I can't eat. Gravity, guys, is the optical phenomenon of the dome flexing due to convection currents. Like Syrian says, one sentence, 4,000 things wrong. Oh my goodness. Oh, for fuck's sake. I can't. I actually... Are you telling me that Flatzoid will beat Sleeping Warrior in top left after this? I mean, my submission video for top left for Sleeping Warrior is just this stream.
Yeah, I mean, you could just loop that clip.
Yeah. Oh my god. All right, but what comes after that, right? That sounds like peak stupidity, right? But there's still 27 minutes left of this stream.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just like peak everything else. You're never actually at peak. Something will beat that peak again.
Right, well, let's see.
There we go.
And I'm saying that intentionally so that you can go misrepresent and misquote me. The point I'm trying to make is...
No, we're going to quote you exactly, Riley, don't worry.
Is that we see an apparent acceleration caused by refraction of boats, and they tell us that apparent acceleration is the same in the sky, to a lesser extent.
Oh, we don't.
It's an apparent...
I think he means like refraction when you look straight up is a lot less than refraction looking over water, for instance. I think that's what he means there.
Okay.
Or he could mean something stupid. Let's just assume it's stupid, shall we?
Yes.
Acceleration, and we don't measure that in newtons, do we? We don't measure it as a force. We calculate stuff when we beg the question, and we'll do all sorts of nonsense. But at no point does anybody anywhere talk about the force required to explain away the apparent orbits of Mercury or apparent retrograde motion. We don't talk about it in the context of forces.
But we
what?
Could.
We do.
Yeah, I mean, well, he's talking about Mercury's, the precession of Mercury's orbit, particularly, which obviously couldn't be explained with Newton. We needed Einstein to explain that, you know?
Yeah.
But there's still forces involved, and you could calculate those forces using Einstein's equations.
Yes.
Right? Riley, you're... Riley, you're so dumb. You're so dumb. Like, so dumb.
So
Just
very
so dumb.
Because we don't talk about it in the context of forces, that means that gravity does not create a force. It just creates an optical effect. And if you know that phrase, bye-bye gravity, bye-bye Sean Hawkins, bye-bye Flat Earth, bye-bye most of the dumbass ball earthers like Glober's mom, who just parrots what she is, fight the Flat Earth saying.
I feel bad for Flatzoid here. Because I mean, that chair is not doing what he thought it was going to do for his hemorrhoids.
No, he's struggling. You see the way he's moving around.
Yeah. I mean, Riley's being a little inconsiderate because, I mean, Flatzoid's got to get out of there and reapply some of the H.
Yeah, you might have to push some back in, pop them back in. That's the most painful ones.
Poor guy. Push him back in. Oh, gosh.
I mean, people are saying in the chat that Flatzoid is a hemorrhoid. I mean, I can't confirm or deny.
Craig, I want to see your
Glober's mom is actually just a.
Riley wants to see my physics degree. I've told you, Riley. Pay me £1,000 and I'll send you a copy of it.
White Knight channel for Fight the Flat Earth. That's all she actually is.
Yeah, Glober Mum, you are just a white knight for me. That's all you are, Glober Mum.
But hey,
apparently,
thank you, Glober Mom.
Yeah, cheers, Glober Mum. I appreciate it. You know,
Yeah,
but apparently
yeah.
that's all you are. You don't cover sovereign citizens or anything on your channel, or make excellent edits of your own stuff. You sometimes do cover stuff on my channel and make videos of my debates, but you know, you're a lot more than just a white knight for me, I guess. But you are a white knight according to Flatzoid and Sleeping Warrior. But yeah, Sleeping Warrior, I will show you my physics degree. Pay me £1,000 and I'll send you a copy of it. We all know that's never going to happen.
I like to just say, all I need to debunk Flat Earth is that I successfully completed middle school math and science.
Yeah, I can. I mean, I don't have those certificates with me either, but you know, just because you can't instantly pull your physics degree out of your ass means you don't have a physics degree, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose you might. I would go head to head with either Sleepy or Flatzoid on taking the physics GCSE test.
Yep.
Head to head. I'd do that. I'd put money on that, Sleepy.
I challenged them, all of them directly. Witsit, Sleepy, Nathan, all of the Flat Earthers. I've said, look, I will do a physics exam with you at the same time, be it GCSE or A level, whatever level you want. You pick it, and we'll do it together. Someone else will choose the paper, and none of us will see it beforehand, and we'll all do it live under exam conditions and see who gets the right answers. I mean, it'd be very hard to mark just crayon.
Winner takes all. Winner takes all. I'll put 10,000 on that. I already have it in escrow.
I'll put his 10,000 on it. He's got it in escrow.
Oh, wait, hold on a sec. You know what, Craig? I would do that. I'd put my 10,000 on you.
Yeah, because Witsit said that he would do a maths test with me, but then never responded when I agreed. Witsit, who doesn't understand basic mathematical notation.
He asked ChatGPT to do some Algebra 1 work for him.
Oh.
And it got it wrong. Then he sent it to Bryant Myers without removing ChatGPT's styling of the text. So it's still the same background color, is the same foreground color. In the email he sent to Bryant, Bryant said, "Where did you get that?" He's like, "Oh, I just did it." Like, it was all wrong.
Didn't. I bet he couldn't do basic algebra.
If you give him, yeah, he couldn't.
If you asked him, 4x equals 16, solve for x, his head would explode.
Oh yeah.
They think they're smart.
Our little motif thing. It's with the globe and the woman's head and the globe and the baby's head. It just cries out indoctrinated, doesn't it?
Fuck you talking about?
Stooge. Set up on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, Syrian's reminding us that the guy here saying that we're not smart is the guy that says 5 divided by 0 equals 5.
Yeah.
Getting trolled the other day by Glober Mum, and then Sean Hawkins debunked her.
Wow, then you know it's a bad
No,
argument.
I don't believe that. Sean Hawkins has never debunked anybody.
I kid you not.
Wow. You know they oh yeah, by the way, Michael, Wes Wally is bringing out a video soon saying you got the wrong turbines.
Oh, no doubt. No.
I've been debunked. I'm going to laugh about it. Where's Wally is absolutely slaying Flatzoid. Have you seen his videos?
I've seen some, yes.
He's done like a whole series just ripping Flatzoid apart, and I mean,
Oh yeah, I love the thumbnails. Got Flatzoid
Yeah.
with his head to the side.
It's but every time he releases the video, Flatzoid will respond in some way, doubling down on being wrong. It's hilarious. Like, oh, did you see his Flatzoid's video about the disproving SpaceX, disproving Starlink?
No.
Right, so he released a short. The start of it is of someone looking at Starlink through their telescope and recording it, and they're going, "Oh, it's amazing that these are satellites, blah blah blah," right? And then it cuts to a picture of, I think it's somewhere in Antarctica, right? And it's a time lapse of them releasing one balloon, okay? And you see it at several different points in the time lapse, and even in the picture he's displaying, it says time lapse of balloon release. And because it looks like a line of balloons, he's going, "Oh, Starlink satellites, is it? Weird." Without realizing that he's just looking at a time lapse of a single.
Oh my
balloon.
gosh. Oh, that's precious.
It is. It's adorable, isn't it? Absolutely adorable.
It is. It is adorable. I was working last night on a script for a video, and I happened on the the video for. Sorry, I'm looking up Nathan Roberts' list of 200 Bible verses that he thinks talks about flat Earth. Exactly, none of them do talk about flat Earth. None of them actually say it. But there's somebody else that has posted the list on somebody's website, and in that long, Paul, right? It's just all the talking points. He gives it 10 points of what he thinks is the undeniable evidence for flat Earth. All of them talking about the globe, of course. Number 10 being the claim he says that he doesn't like gravity, of course, and he calls it just a theory. And what's the link that he linked to?
Oh,
you've seen it.
The joke, the
satire,
taking the piss out of evolution. Yeah,
right at the top it says this is a satirical thing, and he put it on his website. They never read anything but the title.
You will not believe how many times on Facebook people throw that article at me as proof that gravity's just a theory, and it's just like, read it, guys, read it. It's hilarious.
They're not even smart enough to read an article.
No. And even when I point that out, right, and I'll like put a box around where it says satire, they argue going, "Well, that's not what satire means." Oh my god! All right, how long have I got left on this stream? Because I don't think I can finish it all today. Still got 25. I think it's going to need one more stream, honestly. Oh, we'd do maybe another 5 minutes of them talking, and then I'm going to have to call it for tonight, because frankly, there is only so much Flatzoid that you can take in one day.
Yeah,
we all know that,
there's
right?
doctor recommendations. Yeah.
And when you've got Sleep and Warrior on top, I mean, it's it builds up quicker, and you got to have a shower afterwards.
And there's no amount of immunity you can build up to it by drinking anything sent from NASA that actually can prevent overdoses of that.
No, they give me the Klingon blood wine because it does help me stay calmer. They say it's Klingon blood wine, but Klingons aren't real, so I'm not really sure. I don't know what this is.
Hey, NASA sends it, you drink it.
Yeah,
that's how it
absolutely. Do you have the barcodes on the inside of your eyes when you close your eyes as well?
Nope.
Oh. Not really sure what that is.
I'm version 1.0.
That's what they told you. Oh dear.
Well, I checked.
Just while you show the actual turbines on the actual site, while you're there, on the board, everything, he still says it's wrong. This is how desperate these guys are.
It's easy to say you've got wrong ones when you live at opposite side of the plane.
They did the same with Ranty when he did his turbine observation. Said he was looking at the wrong ones. Whether he was, I don't know. But
I'm not interested in Wally whatsoever. Like, he can do whatever he wants.
Oh, not interested in the guy that keeps
Wally by name.
That's it, by nature.
Plug your ears and hum.
Oh, I see Original D-Rose came in, and I didn't say hi to Dislord or Ryan. It's good to see you guys.
So I guess we can conclude, because we're getting on to the hour mark, and I wanted to be done by an hour.
Yeah.
We can conclude by literally saying that if you guys still preach that either gravity is a force or gravity creates a force, then you're not up to speed with the current position in physics. And if Craig, I've got a challenge for you. Show us your certificate on screen, because I don't believe you got one. I don't believe that somebody could go through the education system, be told that gravity is not a force, be told that it's Einsteinian, and be told about quantum mechanics and the overlap between Einstein and quantum mechanics.
Wait, he thinks that in a physics degree, we start getting, a bachelor's of science, physics degree, that we start getting taught quantum mechanics.
Yeah, he has no idea. I have a challenge for people, a request for people. All right, let's pause them for a second here. Okay, here's my challenge for people. Craig, if you want, anybody else that has a physics degree, bachelor's, master's, PhD, physics, would you provide a copy, redacted, of course, the information, a copy of your diploma, photograph, and or video of you holding it up, tape over the spots or something, and saying something about how during your undergraduate you studied Newtonian gravity and not Einsteinian gravity, something like that. Do that. I think that'd probably be a little more useful to you, but send it to me or send it to Craig.
Yeah.
If
Frankly,
anybody's interested, that'd be great.
I have no intention of showing personal documents to anyone, even redacted. That's mine. I have no reason to show it. But there's also the fact that I don't have it with me. It would be with my mum. The literal other side of the UK in the storage unit, they have all of mine and my sister's stuff.
But Craig, the other side of the UK is half as distant as between one side of Minnesota to the other side of Minnesota. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but the roads in the UK are fucking awful, so it takes about 9 years to get there. So.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Your roads are basically like in Tanzania.
Yeah, the second it rains, it's just they crumble into pieces. But you know what, Riley? If you pay me £1,000, I'll go through the hassle of going and finding it. I'm not a sentimental person that keeps all my certificates in a little folder down by my bed. Frankly, I had no idea where any of this stuff was. My mum is the one that keeps it all. It means nothing to me. I did it to get the knowledge, not for a certificate. So that's not. But if you pay me £1,000, I'll go through the hassle of going down, see my parents and getting it and everything, and then I'll display it. But if anyone else wants to show me a physics degree, like Toon said, and then say that we're right, then that should work as well. But Riley, how about you show us your degrees on screen and not the fake ones that you showed before that were, exactly the same as the ones from the fake website and had the wrong signature on.
There was a guy on Facebook for a while that wrote a book, and it appeared like it was an AI that wrote the book, and published it on as a PDF only, digital only on Amazon, and was on the Facebook groups trying to sell the book, claiming that he was a pilot, and he had a picture of himself wearing a pilot outfit, which was a ridiculous looking pilot outfit. It didn't
more like a pirate outfit.
Yeah, it didn't match at all. I forgot his name. I was in a conversation with Robert Greenlee and him to try to get him to come on to face Robert in a debate, because Robert's a real pilot. And of course, he wouldn't. The guy is not in the FAA Airman Registry, of course. But he's like, oh, I'm a pilot in other country. Oh, of course. It's the, I've got a girlfriend, but she lives out of town. And here's a picture of her. Wait a second. Why is that a clipping from a magazine? Oh, it's because of her contract. She's not allowed to be in pictures. And why is that all like stained by liquids? Never mind. She's real.
It's like Ross Thatcher tells me he's getting married to this girl in Thailand, right? I asked for a picture, and he sent me a picture of what's clearly him 15 plus years ago, sitting next to some random Asian-looking woman. And he's like, well, that's the only photo I've got. So the only time and photo he's got is that one time he apparently saw her, which was at least 15 years ago. But they've still been communicating nearly every day, and he's sending her money and stuff. And he's talking to some like 40-year-old fat dude in like Canada or something, right?
No, it's worse than that. It's some kid sitting on a dirty couch in Ghana. That's who it is, and that kid in Ghana on the couch needs to go and sacrifice chickens to the voodoo priest every fortnightly, so that they can have more success by scamming gullible old tottering fools.
Yeah. Now, I've just scrubbed through the rest of that stream. There are 20 minutes left, and they're just babbling. There's nothing else worth their listening to. So I think that is where I will end the series of Debunking Flatzoid and Sleeping Warrior. And oh my god, the dumb. Quick recap. Gravity's just a bit of refraction, isn't it? Arc seconds are a measurement of time. Gyroscopes just measure diffraction of air. They're refracted by the diffraction of light, and they're affected by the refraction of air in the room that they're in. Gravity is just optical. Gravity is an optical phenomenon of the dome flexing caused by convection currents. Have I missed anything? I'm sure I did. There was so much stupid. In the space of an hour, Riley has said about 9 billion things wrong. It's incredible. Riley, who apparently knows what's in a physics degree, yet has never done a physics degree.
Yeah.
Or a physics A level, for that matter. Or I honestly doubt that he passed physics GCSE. Maybe if he passed it, he got a D or a D minus at the most, right?
Yeah. Or cheated.
Yeah. During physics class, he was the guy at the back of the class, literally with crayons up his nose.
Yeah.
You know,
Here, all right. I want to play it.
It's the optical phenomena of the dome flexing as a result of convection currents.
Send it to me, please. I need to add that to my soundboard. It's just this is short, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but you've got no chance. This stream alone secures Riley for top left 2024.
How?
About it in arc seconds, arc minutes, fractions of seconds.
Fractions of seconds. Oh.
This is fucking brilliant.
How?
Oh my god, Riley, you, I love you, right? Genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, Riley, you are one of my favorite people on the planet. You make me laugh more than anyone I have ever known. You say the greatest, the funniest things that give me hours of joy and entertainment. And for that, I truly love you, you fucking moron.
All right, well, just so you know, you might be right. And so my defense will be definitely calling you out for double dipping on him getting an award. So just be ready for that.
There's no rules that say he can't. He deserves it.
There are not. There are not.
He should be the winner,
but in
indefinitely.
the hearts of my fellow voters, they will see that it is not right for him to win this prestigious award twice.
I'm sorry, but gravity's just a bit of
orange
refraction, wins. Is it? It's done. Optical phenomenon with the dome flexing due to convection currents. Boom. Done. Winner.
Okay. All right.
Flat Earth Law Scholar for $2 says reinitialize install command UE.exe resume. No, I am not talking in UE. Okay, Uwu language not happening. Lord Luna's Poo for $2 says one, two, three, and then for $2 says Smurf these nerd herders please. Riley's voice? No. Well, Riley's voice is good for one thing.
I'm a dumb flat earther, and I don't understand science.
Go on, play it again. Please play it again.
Play what again? Oh,
hit. Yeah.
Hold on. I'm not ready. I'm on the wrong part. I have to jump to it. Hold on. What part did you want? Dome flexing.
Yeah.
All right, I got it.
It's the optical phenomena of the dome flexing as a result of convection currents.
I don't have a button yet. I'm just playing it interactively.
Oh, Riley! Oh my God! Oh, I think it was Kent Hovind that said it best.
I'm not prepared for that.
Yep.
PhD Tony for $5 Australian says, "Don't be entirely gullible. Don't be willfully obtuse." Yeah. Like I said at the beginning, don't believe what the news tells you. Don't believe everything you're told. But that doesn't mean that the Earth's flat. Jiffy Jiffwold gives me another 10 memberships. Thank you very much. That's 30 today, which takes me up to 1,067 members.
Wow.
Nice. And what I find, on average, about 30% re-up from the gifted memberships as well, which is quite nice.
Well, that's good. Yeah, re-upping is the key.
Yeah.
People. Re-up to Craig's memberships.
Or I'll send Daniel Pratt to your house.
There it is. You don't want that. So if you've been gifted a membership, keep it going.
Jiff World for $5 says, there you go, have 1 sub per degree per hour. Thanks, Bob. And rest in peace, Bob. Yeah, you gave a lot to the world of science, Bob. You really did.
I mean, he repeated something that had been done literally millions of times.
Yeah,
but good for him.
But so publicly. Fact Base for $2 says a gyroscope needs a container. Duh. Just like spectroscopy, I guess. Stringers 1 for $2 says, is Riley grasping at strawmen? Lord Luminous Poo for $2 says, this is an egg. The tattoo on his stomach says, I did that, me.
Gross.
Dave McKeegan for £5 says, the ultimate riddle. If a gyroscope is in a room with no one else around, will Riley still say dumb shit? Yes! Much Gun for $20, thank you very much, says, where has the time gone? When I started watching on YouTube, you were nearly bald, overweight, and Sleeping Warrior was talking absolute rubbish. Now you have a faux hawk, are looking fit, and well, 2 out of 3 isn't bad. I am fit, apart from, spending the day in hospital, because I put on my community post, I told everyone that I wasn't feeling well on Monday, so I need to take a little bit of a rest. And it wasn't anything bad. My glands were a bit up, and I just felt a little bit ugh. And on Tuesday, every time I got up, I passed out. I just collapsed. And then it happened, and I fell through my son's bedroom door and dislocated my knee.
Now, people, so you know, everybody, I verified by asking him, and he didn't answer directly, but I got the gist of his answer. There is a McNeil wing at the local hospital there.
Yeah.
When he shows up, the red carpet comes out.
Yeah, just
they're
bed
like,
just for me in the whole ward.
You have made our budget for the next 10 years, sir. The new wing is named after you. We would knight you, but the line is long.
Yeah. So it turns out I'm fighting a virus that's got a vendetta against me, like I owe it money or something. But I'm mostly okay. But I had to have my leg put back in the socket, which I'm going to tell you now is not pleasant. Really,
your bad leg or your good leg?
My bad leg. So you should
just cut that thing off.
Yeah, I'm working on that one. That's why I'm doing all this fitness stuff. Randy Leahy for $5 says, after actually trying to make sense of what Riley is saying, I changed my vote to Riley for Dunning-Kruger Champ of 2024. Truly, Fubar. You ain't wrong, mate. PhD Tony for $10 says, if you have a theory that predicts a phenomenon, testing whether that phenomenon can be observed and whether it's not characterized, or whether or not its characteristics are as predicted, is fundamental to the scientific method. Well, yeah, but you forget that Flerfs stop at observation. Well, it looks flat. Well, the stars look like it move. Therefore, that's it.
That's it.
PhD Tony for $5 says, for Riley's benefit, the Large Hadron Collider cost 4.75 billion euros. Yeah, I mean, if only quantum mechanics got funding, huh?
Yep. it's not as cool.
No, it's not as shiny and fancy.
What does he think gets the funding?
The hookers and blow parties that NASA throw every day, apparently.
Of course.
Yeah. Stringers1 for $2 says, birds think that pi is 3. Silly animals. Aye, birds are just dumb dinosaurs, basically. Clarence AS2 for £5 says, up and down are not phrases fishes use. Needs to go on a t-shirt. Yeah. So, did you hear when Riley and they were saying that fish don't know what up and down is, but can still go up and down when they need to?
What? Nothing they say makes sense.
No, you're right. It doesn't. Stringers1 for $5 says, fishes mean different kind of fish from my first ichthyology book. Maybe I was wrong about that. Is fishes the plural of fish?
Fishies. Fishiuses.
Does it have to be different types of fish to be fishes?
Fishies.
Fishies.
Cute little fishies.
I hate the English.
Yummy fishies. How about not yet made into sushi?
Hi, Lovebot. Vic the Viking, for a member for 2 months, says, this is what these guys sound like. Geometry clearly states that the x-axis of space will be warped when it comes across time. Yeah, that's exactly what they sound like. It's just absolute nonsense. Jess Tiger for $5. We need more axes to make space-time work. Flatzoid 2023. Yeah, he kept calling them axes, not axes, which is always fun.
Oh my gosh.
Lovebot for $4.99. And no, Lovebot, I'm never going to tell you what you were programmed for. You just have to suffer. Says, yo, Xbox, give me y'all's gamer tags. We're playing some Minecraft ASP as soon as possible. Got a realm and everything. Hit me up. I am FTFE Plays. Emma is MZ Pop. Emma's got her own realm that she's currently turned into a massive farm. Last time I played Minecraft was years ago, and now I've gone back to it, and there's like all these new mobs, like phantoms that appear when you don't sleep and stuff. What the hell's going on? Stringer's1 for $2 says, video games, I still play Monotony and Cabbage. I do like a good old board game. Stratego is one of my favourites. Brianna Johnson gifted 5 memberships. Brianna, thank you very much. It means the world. Like I say, we're up to 1,057 members now, or 67. Yeah, 1,067 members. Randy Leahy for $2. Belt the like button like it took your last beer. Yeah, if you haven't smashed the like button yet, then do that. Otherwise, you know, Pratt will be at your door. And I'm just saying that you'll smell it before you open the door. Honestly. PhD Tony, $10 Australian. Riley doesn't understand hydrostatically ordered fluids. Hydrostatic pressure acts in all directions, not just down. The formula for hydrostatic fluid incorporates a directionality. Tony, I appreciate the super chat, but it could have been a bunch shorter. The first 3 words were all we needed. Riley doesn't understand. That's it.
I'm a dumb flat earther, and I don't understand science.
His own words. Lovebot199 says 300 likes and FTFE will make an OnlyFans. You think I haven't got one already? You're adorable. Lowwatt for $5 says, I've been using the interwebs for over 3 decades, and this is some of the most profound, stupid stuff I've ever heard someone utter. Welcome to Riley, my friends. Welcome to Riley. Stringers1 member for 44 months says, FTFE... Excuse me. They use mustard gas because mustard goes on sausages and the Germans like sausage. Pay attention to science. Obviously, the culinary science of the world wars is very important. Mr. Toffee, member for 22 months, says, damn you, that's twice gravity with headphones in. Yeah, sorry, it is a bit loud and does shock people, but, you know, because Desert File's there.
Gravity, you fucking retard! Gravity! Have you ever heard of fucking gravity? Gravity! Gravity!
And I turned it down so it doesn't blow you away. And thank you for adding me as a friend on Xbox. It's a Rubik's. Then we got Lord Luminous Pooh for $5. They're so dumb they think we're dumb. It's an honor for the village idiot to think you're dumb. Is it an honor? I guess so. When the village idiot knows your name, it's impressive that they've taken the time to remember it, I guess.
Yeah, good for them.
Yeah, well done. They probably had to write it on their hand. So, Fight the Flat Earth. Greg. Wait, sorry, it's got a bit sweaty. Greg. Oh, I don't know how to say that. Stringers one for $2 says, thank Titty Kaka. Thank Titty Kaka. It's wait a minute.
That one's for me.
Yeah, wrong channel. I'll send you that $2, okay?
All right, super.
Oh my god, Jesus. Mr. E-Man for $2 says, I'm late, restart. Wait, don't restart, the stupid. No, really, you don't want me to restart. And thank you, DJ Shadow, for adding me as a friend on Xbox. Fact-based $2 says, bring a speed bump. Being a speed bump is a job. Give me the street. Flat Earthers will probably make bad speed bumps just because they're bad at everything. Mr. E-Man gave me 10 gifted memberships. Thank you very much. Guys, if you become a member today and it wasn't you that bought it, say thank you to the person that gifted. Stringers one for $2. All your Antarctics are belonging to Kailas.
He mixed a few metaphors there.
Just a little bit. Oh, Kailas in Antarctica. That would be quite dangerous. Lord Luminous Pooh for $5. Red rhymes with lead, but not lead. Well, red lines with lead, but not lead. Yeah, fuck the English language. Red rhymes with lead, but not lead. Well, read rhymes with lead, but not lead. Yeah. Just get out. Lord Lewis Pooh, $5. Flerfs in the Hadron Collider. 2 things that dense will make a black hole. You're right. Vic the Viking for $6.99 Canadian. If you put 2 Flerfs in a super collider, you'll achieve the opposite of a black hole. You get nothing but a giant brown mound that smells of shit. PhD Tony for $5 Australian. Riley is what you get when a fungal colony atop a cesspit acquires a wig and a Groucho glasses without the charm and charisma. Remember to flush people. Tony, I would appreciate if you didn't insult fungal colonies and cesspits in my chat, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
there was no need for that. That was a bit harsh, dude. What have fungal colonies and cesspits ever done to you to be compared to Riley? I think you should apologise, actually. That's disgusting behaviour.
While he's apologizing, I gotta go, Riley. I'll be right back.
Yeah, just don't do it on stream. Rodenti Queen Tika from member 37 months says, whoa, 37 months. Back then I had less grey hair. Me too. Me too. Stringers one, $2 says, don't forget Poundland Quantum toilet paper. You know, anything sounds cool. You just put quantum in front of it. Fat Base for $2 says, giving birth to brown babies smarter than Flerfs. Yeah, I quite often do that in the toilet. Chris for $2 says, the Temple of Toon on FTFE, what is this heresy? Christopher Kane, member for 2 months, says, hey Craig, hope you're well, my friend. Hey Chris, love to see you. Brianna Johnson for £5 says, Arwin needs donations, so I figure I'd send a super chat to make fun of the penniless bum. Lake Titicaca, we love Toons day night on FTFE. Oh, bless little Arwin. You know, he does need the help, doesn't he? You know.
And I still don't have a freaking 1,000 subscribers. What the hell's going on?
Tim Tully, $5 says, Sleepy thinks quantum mechanics go to trade school. Clarence AS2, £5. I refuse to believe Riley's law degree is real and just one he bought on internet. I need to have some faith in the UK legal system. Yeah, Riley wouldn't pass a bar, trust me. Judy Bassett, member for 20 months. Thank you very much. It's nearly twice around the sun. You're getting there. Imagine Riley in a university physics class. It makes me laugh. Charlie Welch, member for 6 months, says, but Riley came up with P equals MC squared. Budum-ch. Tim Tully, member for 27 months, says, marketing, naked women on boats. Yeah, that'd be much better marketing for that amazing satellite they want, right?
Yeah.
Find the
There's some
models'
beaches
houses.
apparently that do that.
You could even find Planawalk the Hobbit in New Zealand, Shire land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like tanning on the roof.
On the roof. Down by the dick. Fact Base agrees with $2 that they need more naked women on boats. Well, as long as, I mean, the naked women on boats is great, but wouldn't you want to be there as well? Just the naked women on boats alone seems quite pointless, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not where you want the naked women to be, frankly. Just string. It's a Rubik's for $5 says, don't you know we're moving upwards at 9.8 meters per second squared? We don't feel it because I guess it's convenient for flat Earth. All evidence to the contrary is just a lie or CGI. He's busted us.
Yeah, busted.
Rachie got it right though when she was describing what Dell said, that it goes round in a loop. So
that is the least of the ridiculous explanations for the downward acceleration. There's 5. Ridiculous. That's the least ridiculous.
Oh, the Jonathan that wouldn't come and debate us is in the chat. The Jonathan that thinks Durf's pictures of Apollo are all legit.
Oh, that's precious.
Yeah, he says there's no reason to believe that a large ball such as a planet would somehow attract everything to it. It makes no sense. Well, it makes no sense to you.
Yeah. I mean, because you're not, Jonathan. I don't know. I mean, maybe just don't have the background in it. Did you complete middle school math and science?
No, he thinks the Earth's flat, dude, and he thinks that Durf's not a liar and a scammer.
Tell you what, Jonathan. 40 minutes. Come on, face me live.
Do it.
Don't run away. Here, I'll put this. Don't choose. I just put the coward's defense. Don't choose those to avoid facing me live. Bring your woke truth, your amazing proofs.
Do you see what he's putting in chat? He says,
I'll take you out right now.
Video titled Flat Earth, Why Pilots Can't Prove Curvature by Phuket Word explains that gyroscopes prove the flat Earth is real. He's quoting Phuket Word.
Oh, that's precious.
Bless him. Adorable.
It's...
Stringer's one for $2 says, Flerfs are a new species, Homo stulatus. Just Homo dumb. It's a Rubik's $2. Also, here's your obligatory NASA hush money. Thank you. Luke Filewalker, a member for 31 months, says, I think my brain just exited the building. Yeah, mine will it, mate. Don't worry. Randy Lay for $5 says, Tartaria giants used to make the dome flex all the time back in the day. So, good old Kevin from Canada. He thinks that the giants are real. That's why the doorways in Canadian buildings are sometimes big. But he's also now on the reptilians run the world bandwagon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shape-shifting reptilians?
Apparently so, yeah. I mean, we all know that Mark Zuckerberg
from a different planet,
any others,
of course.
Right? Mark Zuckerberg's obviously a reptile, right?
I mean, if anybody is...
Yeah. I'm sure I saw him blink sideways. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean...
PhD Tony for
I don't know,
says world record.
I wouldn't want to be a fly near him. How about that?
No. World record for most derp in one sentence. And another $2 says also optical phenomenon, Riley, not phenomena. Yeah, he doesn't word very well. Nick N, member for 5 months, says if gravity is optical, can it be measured with a spectrophotometer? Possibly, but that's not a thing that's real. So
a spectral phygnometer.
Goodness me, you guys are so generous with the super chats. Cody paying $5. I'm hearing some problematic rumblings about someone other than Iggy being top left. Can this be rectified immediately, please and thank you?
Has Iggy responded to your email?
He has not. I'm going to poke him again because I'd like to get him on. Rachbot $5 says this is an automated message. Stupidity overload. Your bot has crashed. Please reboot. 2 secs. There you go, Rach. You should be back up and running, love. String News 1.
Oh, look at... Oh, hold on. Jonathan Fleming just admitted that he did not successfully complete middle school math and science. In fact, he couldn't complete elementary school math and science, because in elementary school is where you are introduced to the concept of conservation of momentum.
Yeah.
And he just claimed, listen to this, smoke will never float to one side, even in a windless room. That proves no movement. That proves, actually, Jonathan, that you don't understand conservation of momentum. Nursery school children understand that topic, and
or
you
relative
don't.
motion, for that fact, or anything. Jonathan,
The poor idiot.
Look, come close, Jonathan. You're a fucking idiot. Stringers won $5. Witless is so dumb he doesn't even mistake the X in algebra for multiplication operator in basic arithmetic. I watched him trying to do maths, and he literally understood none of the notation. It was fucking hilarious.
Oh.
It's a Rubik's. Member from 9 months says, my PhDs in economicals and skeptology are legit. Of course they are. Just as legit as Riley's brain. PhD Tony, $5, says, Riley should receive an honorary lifetime achievement award and leave the annual awards for the lesser lights. I think at some time we're going to have to do a lifetime achievement award for Dunning-Kruger. And the person that wins that isn't allowed to win anything else. Plan a walk. Sending me a message from his dick. Says for $2 New Zealand. Craig, can you send a Flatzoid video to me? Well, this one that we've covered, it's the big stream that he did recently called Sleeping Warrior Discusses Gravity.
I sent him a link to it already.
Cool, thank you. NA for $100. Thank you, my friend. The support, insane. My cousin had one of his legs amputated recently. Now he feels no more pain. Stay strong, bro. Love your channel. That's very encouraging. Thank you very much. What happened with my leg recently has brought the discussions forward for the amputation. So, bad things cause good things in the long run. Plan a walk for $5 New Zealand says, anything sounds cool, you put quantum in front of it. Counterpoint. Quantum Mania. Right. Sorry, but I liked Quantum Mania. I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was funny. Paul Rudd is hilarious. I thought the CGI was good if we ignore, the face thing. And I thought it set the multiverse thing up very well. I don't understand the hate of Quantum Mania, honestly. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Have you seen Quantum Mania?
No.
Have you seen any of the Marvel movies?
Yeah.
Have you seen all 36?
No.
You got some homework to do before you watch the Marvels. Because, who doesn't want homework with their movies?
Yes.
Just here watching you, 499 says, send a Flerf a link to a surveyor showing the curve over lake. He said it was fake because it uses satellites. Yeah, they just deny stuff, so,
Jonathan is so precious. He obviously just got his introductory to Flerf packet from the first day of Flerf camp. Flerf summer camp.
He doesn't even know what his veins are. Oh, bless.
Yeah, he says that the gyroscopes are essential for maintaining an aircraft's level. They do so by preserving the axis of spin in the direction they were initially spun up. But he has no clue because he's not done his own research, as all the flat Earth priests say they should do. He neglected to do that. Jonathan, if you knew anything about how aircraft works and how pilots actually do their work, every once in a while they need to manually recage the spinning gyroscope to reset it every once in a while. Yeah. And while they're turning, there are pendulous vanes. Look at that, pendulous vanes that correct for the aircraft's rotation, change in orientation as it goes over the curve of the Earth. But you're ignorant and you're easily fooled by your Flerf priests. You never did your own homework. You never actually did your own research because you're gullible and stupid.
But of course, modern airplanes don't use physical gyroscopes like that. They use fiber optic gyroscopes.
Modern ones do. Big ones don't. Big ones.
Riley, Stringer News 1 for $2 says Riley couldn't pass a bar is a double entendre. Yeah, I didn't mean that, but it is. And Fat Base for $2 says, I own my boat. No naked women owned, unfortunately. Yeah, we're not allowed to own women. We abolished that a while ago. Sorry. Ignore the people I've got in my basement. That's, just Don't worry about that. Shut up. You get fed when I feel like it. Well, there we go. Thank you to your help, Toon. And thank you to PhD Tony for helping me get through Flatzoid, because that is something that you need, you know, a friend for. You should never, ever Flatzoid on your own. It's a very serious
be careful.
thing.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Vic the Viking for $6.99 says, I have a little over 1,000 subs and I don't even know why. Arwin can have them for $100 a sub.
And I still don't have a freaking 1,000 subscribers. What the hell's going on?
He's such an angry man.
Oh. Poor guy.
Oh, Toon, what have you got coming up on your amazing channel?
Well, I was considering doing something tonight in about half an hour. If anybody's interested, let me know in the chat. But I'm working on a script. It's a larger one, a larger video. So I've got some a lot of stuff I'm putting into it. It'll be a little different than usual. Next week, I got a couple that I've asked. But I got a yes. If you remember Anthony D. Time Dunham, he has agreed to come back.
Fun.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I've
Maybe
got Brian Turner. We're discussing Gravity. And then Saturday might be bringing back Ross, because I like to poke at a dumbass person.
No. The only thing he's good for is punching.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of do that verbally, because that's fun.
Yeah, right.
And I was supposed to be debating Howard on Journalism's channel on Tuesday just gone, but Howard, being Howard, decided he need longer to prepare 2 minutes worth of evidence than the time given. So we will now be debating on the 28th, I believe, on Journalism's channel.
Wow.
Yeah. Hugh Jar says, do you want me to sit on Ross? It make a bad smell, so I wouldn't do that, bud. Toon, thank you very much for joining me, mate. I really do appreciate it. I'm gonna let you go while I play them a terrible song with me rapping in.
I'm gonna set up the live stream for half an hour from now. So
you do that. Have fun. I'll be in bed. Good night.
All right. We'll see you. Thanks.
See you later, mate. Bye. Make sure you subscribe to Toon and check out his live stream in about half an hour. Insane amount of support today, guys. Absolutely incredibly insane. Like really a lot. It's one of my bigger financially done streams, so thank you very much. You know, I never know how to say thank you enough for what you guys do for me. So I guess the least I can do is play you a really bad song that I'm in. Well, it's actually an amazing song, but you know.
Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars? Should be wishing for a brain right now, brain right now, brain right now.
Good morning. These words come with a storm warning. Better batten down the hatches, grab some matches and brace yourself for a long day of misery. YouTube has given me the power to reach up into the sky and show you all that we live on the ball. I bring you science that's comprehensible. Your view is indefensible. You're reprehensible. Go on, Mr. Sensible. When I was young, I never thought I would be here to see this. A pile of random nonsense dressed up as bullshit. Your ignorance will be the death of us all, like running head first full speed into a wall. You could always read a book, buy a telescope, set it up and take a photo of the moon, or just be a buffoon. I send you in a balloon up to the stratosphere on page 3.
You're a few fries short of a happy meal. You're dumber than a box of hair. The wheel's spinning but the hamster's dead, and you're as smart as bait. You forgot to pay your brain bill. You're missing a few buttons on the remote control. 24 cents short of a quarter. You're surfing in Nebraska. You're as bright as Alaska in December, and you fell out of your family tree. You don't have all the cornflakes in one box. You got an IQ of 2 and it takes 3 to grunt. The elevator doesn't go all the way up, and there's a vacancy on the top floor. Your antenna doesn't pick up all the channels. You're several nuts short of a
You're Mr.
fruitcake.
Sensible, calm down, don't go too hard. You don't need the ads like burying Flerfs in your backyard. You're a man of science, poise and grace. Mage 2 did everything to wipe the grins off the face. So Nathan, get away from those kids. The world is not flat and it doesn't have a lip. Recognize the differences between the textbook and the Bible and control yourself. Lay off your slander and your lies. You're a bunch of knobs poisoning the world of the youth, spreading lies that you like to claim as knowledge and truth. Stop spreading fresh bullshit like the butter on your bread. Maybe a musical assault will knock some sense into your head. I hope one day you'll hear these lyrics and smile, and you realise you used to be a 40-year-old child. Now it's time to wake up, open your eyes and see, and acknowledge the existence of
You're a few clowns short of a circus. Your phone is off the hook. Your sewing machine is out of thread. You're all foam and no beer. You don't have all your dogs on one leash. An intellect rivaled only by garden tools. There's no grain in your silo, and your skylight leaks a little. Your belt doesn't go through all the loops. You couldn't pour water out of a boot without instructions on the heel. Your slinky's kinked, and you're proof that evolution can work in reverse. A few feathers short of a whole duck, one fruit
Can we
short of
pretend
a full
that
bowl.
airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars? Should be wishing for a brain right now, brain right now, brain right now. Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars? Should be wishing for a brain right now, brain right now, brain right now.
You thought it was over? Well, I'm still standing while you're swinging, flinging feces, talking shit just like the human centipede. You got the mind of a chimp, and I'm here to expedite your shore leave. Cause I'm a seaman, but not the kind I rit up on your mum's gums. I'm the kind that sailed submarines and fired guns. I could float a boat across the ocean with my eyes closed, circumnavigate the globe with a compass and a bag of sausage rolls. Well, all you can do is nibble on your toes. I'll smack you with the hose that you taught a water level, sit and swivel. You nasal gazing muppet, you can stuff it harder than the wallet stuffed by Warren Buffett. And I don't care about your sauces unless you're serving them. And I don't care about your lines unless you're curving them. Now step away from me, you're sucking up my oxygen with the vacuum where your brain should be, you dumb fuck. Thank you for being here, guys. Jonathan Fleming just said in the chat he wouldn't debate me for the same reason he wouldn't debate a 4-year-old. And yes, Jonathan, I totally understand. You would also get destroyed in debate by a 4-year-old. Thank you for watching, guys. You're all fucking awesome. I love every single one of you. Not you, Gary. Most importantly, remember that stupidity is not a right. Fight the flat earth. Fight the flat, 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 fight the flat.
Here we go.
MC Tune, drop that beat.
All right. Let it flow. Let yourself go. So I know that is the tempo.
So, yeah, let's do this song.
Let's do this. Yo, it's MC Toon, the debunking tycoon. I shatter flat earthers, make them face the moon. Your attempts are decent, but they'll swoon in the face of my logic like a deflated balloon.
Oh, MC Toon, the one soon of cartoons. On the real stage, sending Flerfs to their dues. Your theories are like old brews, sweeping ignorance or just spreading the views.
FTFE stands for fumbling the facts, evidently. I drop truth bombs so splendidly. Your approach to soft minds unrelenting. I bring the science while you're just venting.
MC Toon, the buffoon with silver spoons. I tackle pseudoscience, make them change their tune. You're the sidekick, I'm the rude. When it comes to debunking, I'm the rude.
To the dizzle dizzle, in the rizzle dizzle.
But hey, FTFE, we share the creed to educate and debunk, plant the seed. Though in this rap, it's clear indeed I got the upper hand in word and deed.
All right, hold on a second. The Zoom call died. Everything died.